neighborhood school to be around the people I grew up with. Because at the magnet school is just 30, 45 minutes away. I, didn't really know anybody. I wasn't as close as people who I grew up with. So around high school, that's when I started hearing about, and seeing, the different things like, the drugs and people dying and, stuff like that. And I was caught completely off guard, but
wow,
I was curious, like, what is this,
Bro, do you hear the verbiage? Do you hear how he talk?
Experience something like that.
Pause this fucking shit, chat.
Japan.
Bro, hold on. You out here slide. You out here slide with this type of vocabulary.
Y'all gotta stop, y'all. If y'all ain't gangster, y'all can't do this, yo. Y'all can't be doing this. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you was in Beverly Hills. And you
that nigga talking in full sentences, bro. The fuck?
Bro. Yo was trying to saying, basically saying he got introduced to that stuff by accident. He didn't really want to be in it. You know what I mean? High school. Like, yeah. See, y'all, this is what y'all be doing, right? Y'all be on Facebook and Instagram lurking. The people I'm in the hood. Then y'all friend them. So I'm sending the money in their chat. Then y'all want to be a part of their crew and hang out with them. And then y'all will come to the, buy all the stuff. Come to the hood, hang out with them. You know what I mean? Because y'all buying friends when y'all doing that. Y'all coming us buying them drinks and doing everything. Y'all buying friendship. But yeah, he was using a whole, that's it. You can't be that kid. And a lot of y'all kids that's smart, so y'all will act like that. And then when y'all get out of trouble, you can't play two roles. You caught in, the gangster life. You want to be in the gangster life, so now you're in the gangster life. You know what I mean? As I said, young ghost. St. Patrick. You know what I mean? He thought he was in power. You know what I mean? And on time he coming to save you.
Around the world, I mean, in the country, it didn't have what Jacksonville had.
And we've heard from a lot of people that knew you, and I think it's been a pretty consistent theme that you were mature and smart and interested in things. But you were still what? How old around that time?
I was 14, 15. I would consider myself to be smart and mature for my age. But
Listen.
Still
I was still a young boy.
I'm still a young boy.
Still a young man.
You think you were kind of impressionable?
I would characterize myself as, at times being naive, gullible.
So he's saying, chat, hold on.
And
I know there's a lot of people on social media saying this.
So he's basically saying he was a follower.
Yeah, the nigga said, I'm still a young boy. Give me a chance. I'm still a young man. I was young and I was young and stupid then, and I'm young and I'm stupid now. Just give me a chance. Like, this is crazy. Y'all want everybody, if you get a chance. Hazy, what's going on, family? My God. Hold on, I'm taking my camera. Salute, big bro.
Well, go on, Hazy.
Salute, my guy. Much respect.
Yeah, this case, oh, man.
Should salute.
I can't even sit there and talk about this case because he's trying to go there. Oh, I did wrong, but it's not my fault.
And nigga begging for mercy.
Nah, son. You said you're smart.
You
should quit.
No.
Tell you about that.
Let me think. Don't do
You can't even see sometimes. You need to quit. That's when we gladly quit.
It's crazy. Holy shit, chat. But let's carry on. But yeah, they're begging, Dude try to say that don't, dude try to trying to switch up his whole, you know what I mean? But he wasn't talking like that when he was throwing up gang signs and, he wasn't talking none of that crazy shit. He wasn't talking none of that. None of that. I gotta switch up. They don't care if you switch up.
And so despite that upbringing, are you finding yourself, you're in a different culture now, but you still want to be as successful as you can?
Yeah, so being in the jail, I'm by myself, especially in a city so far away. I don't know anybody, so I took this time to focus back in on myself and just get back to the basics, what I know, and without anybody being in my ear or influencing me, I cut out the noise, there's not many distractions in jail,
So you got, yeah, don't worry, don't worry, bro. You ain't gonna have no distraction. You're gonna have a 25, you ain't gonna have ain't nobody gonna whisper in your ear, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. So you're basically saying, jail is a cool life. I found myself there because I didn't have nobody calling me up and, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all, man, we want to talk, hook up with these girls and then they go hook you up to this crew and then y'all find out that, y'all have been recruited, right? And now it's like, they don't know who you is, yo. You could have been the kid with the straight A, the best kid in the college on your block, in your neighborhood. Your mommy could have been the sheriff. His mom was a sergeant in the military. We don't hear AZ said they don't do nothing for you. You know what I mean? Because they don't do nothing for you. Don't think that your mom is a military person. They're gonna help you out. They're gonna save you. You know what I mean? So it's not sad. It's just crazy. Y'all gotta know what y'all are doing. If y'all ain't done with the shit, y'all got something good going on for y'all self. And you're having all this stuff. Some of y'all just think it's just boring to have certain things or have mama have a company and you go work for the company or something to help out. I don't know what's boring with that. Crazy. Insane, yo. It's crazy.
I just don't like how he just blaming it all on
blame it on.
Blame it on himself. He's smart, right? He's a young man. He's not stupid, clearly.
He's not dumb.
He's stupid for what he did, but come on.
Coming, Mom.
Wait, I'm gonna have to make it.
Yeah,
he knows what he did.
He's trying to use his thing together. He think he out top the people. You know what I mean?
the same thing every day. So I started to work out and programs, try to educate myself more, plan, stuff like that. Everybody asks themselves, or everybody asks God for things, what we want God to do for us. But a lot of times we don't ask what God wants from us. And so I've asked God that question, what do you want from me? I'm asking all these things from you. What do you want from me? And he told me that he's calling me. I feel like my calling, or what he told me, was to be there for the youth, serve the youth, keep them from going down similar paths, because there's a better way. And the streets is not the way. The streets are not the way.
Even having everything, tips and privilege and church and grandmas, and you still can find yourself going down the wrong path, right? And you feel that that's your calling?
Yes, I want.
So that's a calling.
Well, I think it's more asked than answered, but you can go ahead and answer. Yes or no? Just answer yes or no.
What was?
What you were describing.
Yes. I do. I would like to.
Well, no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Just gotta wait for a question, okay, Mr. Catherine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, chat. That was not smart of him. That was not smart at all. Not very smart. I was very stupid. If you guilty, you think you're guilty on something like that? Are you taking the stand? Huh? Is you crazy? You gotta be crazy. You taking a stand on something like that. after the fact that you already got convicted? What are you trying to do? He said he was, he loves it in jail. Nobody there to pressure him, and he could whatever. So I don't know. Maybe he wants to stay in there. But man, you know, people do crazy shit. They do crazy shit. A lot of y'all be trying to do certain things. Maybe they thought they was gonna use him, get him to do everything, and then dropped him off. Or I guess he was supposed to be the fall guy. If anything goes down. How do y'all be acting tough, doing the crazy shit? And fear will let a lot of y'all young dudes do a lot of crazy stuff. I noticed that. Because a lot of y'all are really in fear. That's why y'all go out there and y'all will, someone will convince y'all to go do something to somebody that y'all don't know. How long I'm just trying to figure out if y'all think y'all gonna be walking forever and get away with this shit. They stupid. Dude, stupid. Everything that he's doing, you can't want to be the dude in front of the stage and look like, oh, I'm more tougher than everybody. See, I let off more shots than that person. I did this and that, all that. Yeah, true. Yeah, one dead, one in prison. True that. Was that your mom? True that. Yeah, one. Yeah, it's true though. One dead and one going to prison. Yeah, they both play the game. Like what the police said. Julio was a well-known gang member, so I mean, when you're out there in the streets playing these games, I mean, people are gonna come after you. So I'm trying to figure out how is he gonna how is he gonna protect himself inside there where because if Julio is a well-known gang member, how are you gonna protect yourself inside jail? Is that gonna work out for you? How is that gonna work? So you got a lot. You got a lot of problems. You got a lot of problems. You're only 20. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Only 20 years old. But a lot of 20-year-olds, a lot of people do this. There's one kid that I seen on the news, and I'm pretty sure I know his parents. He was like 18. He got caught with an extendo. Yeah. I think he's like Middle Eastern or something, Arab or something like that. But he had the whole braids coming down his face all the time. The braids coming down to the side. Singles, all that type of stuff. I'm like, look at this kid right here. He's not even good like that. He's only dressed like that. But that's not even his culture. You know what I mean? But a lot of y'all be doing certain things and y'all. A lot of y'all want to, be down so bad that should be crazy. I think it's crazy. They want to be down so bad. Sometimes, you know what I mean? They too stupid. That's how, because now it makes sense why some of these kids are getting caught, because look where they're coming from. I tell you, I keep saying this. Every time I do a story, I put this in there. I say this. You know what I mean? The stuff is not coming from the hood no more. You ain't gonna get no kids or nobody from the hood to do anything after they see what happened to Dirk and them and everybody else. You know, and everybody else in Chicago, and everything else will happen. Like they're trying to get these rich kids out there. These rich kids that want to be down. That, you know what I mean? That have everything set up for them. You know, everybody helped them to got where they got. Those are the kids behind the shit. I'm trying to tell you, those be the ones on the internet talking the gangster-ish shit, and how they gonna do you, and how when shit happens. Oh my God, it's the results that we get, Chuck. It's the results that we get.
What's wrong with her?
The results that we get. That's sad. To me, it's super sad. Super sad, right? I haven't heard that.
Wake up.
Super sad. Super sad. Right? It's sad. You're a kid. You're a kid. You know, you got everybody helping you out. You got your stepdad, you got your grandma, you got everybody trying to help you out, trying to get, you know what I mean, keep you, you know what I mean, out of trouble. And you want to be down so bad. You know, but I'm telling y'all, this shit right here is getting senseless and senseless. I just think there's a lot of senseless shit going on. And I know a lot of people like, damn, I know a lot of people that's really right now that are moving militant. It's out there in the streets is saying, damn, what are these guys over here doing this crazy stuff like that? Because when I seen the shooting, the whole thing happened with dude, you know, and when he pulled up by the Tesla, y'all remember, if y'all go back and listen to the almost shot, I think he had like 15 or 14 shots. Well, I don't know, something like that. But he let off a whole, you know. I don't know, man. All I know is this shit right here is insane. A lot of y'all want to be gangster for no reason. A lot of y'all want to be gangster.
But it's amplified, bro. That's what's cool.
My bad. Say that again, Rice. I didn't know you were.
It's the trend. Yeah, I just came back. I was listening to you, a Negro, and
yeah,
but it became a trend.
For real.
But now that trend is over. It really is. There ain't that many people out there doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, who that? Your mom said the same shit too. Like, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But a lot of that's what, and we know this, and I see this all over the world, because even down here too, right? Where there's a kid, and he was so-called a hitman, but the kid was from like a rich part of like Canada. He was only, you see what I'm saying? And he did a hit. He didn't get paid for it, and then the idiot let him do a next hit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I'm like, how? And then it ticked to my head. I'm like, no, it can't be a regular street dude or somebody that's in there. Yeah, everybody, man, everybody telling as soon as they get snitched. And that's the next thing I'm going to talk. What I was just talking about, the kid that did the hit down here. You know what I mean? He did one against a politician's friend. The dude that he did it was an Indian dude, and he was a politician's friend, right? Right? And then the next dude is supposed to be some online gambling debt that he couldn't pay, and they put a hit on him. But this kid must have been like 18. He started at 16 and did the kid, and then he started rapping. So now he started doing certain things, got into certain things, let off a couple of shots, and scared a couple suburb kids. You know what I'm saying? Because he was living in a suburb. He was living in a suburb neighborhood. So now, he thought he was tough, and then, I guess he must have went around, find a dark web, where they were hiring gangsters. And they put him on a hit and never paid him. And then put him on a second one and never paid him. Yeah. Never paid him right. But
anybody that'll put you in that position ain't a good person.
Yeah, but in my head, I'm like, damn, who are hiring these? Because a regular.
It exists.
And that's why. Yeah, a lot of stuff that goes on is not street chat. These kids that are getting hired is because they're on the internet and they gotta, they think they tough and they want to be a part of something, and they be buying guns on purpose because they're not using them until, yeah. And the 14-year-old. So we had a 14-year-old down here 2 weeks ago. Pure right, a 16-year-old, because the kid had some what do you call it? What kind of shoes he had? Some designer shoes. You know what I mean? He had some crazy designer shoes, and the kid popped the kid. He popped the next. You know what I mean? It's a white kid that popped a Muslim kid. You know what I mean? For his shoes, but it was crazy, bro. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. These kids, I don't know what's going on with them. How what's really good, but they will do anything to be a part of. They'll do anything to be a part of the streets, yo. You know what I mean? They'll be a part. They'll do anything. They will take anything. I don't know. You know what I mean? No, I'm in Canada. My boy up in Texas. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing over here, yo. It's the same shit. It's like all these kids I see in the US is the same shit where they recruit rich kids that are 14, 15 that want to hook up with gangsters. Because they're like we pay, like, you see, like when you're not when you're not rich, super rich, like you're not out every day, you don't pay attention to your kids. You know what I mean? Like us now that come home like that, like some rich dads and rich moms, they don't come home every day. You know what I mean? So now it's easy to their kids on the line, seeing some type of music video, get carried away into something else. You know what I mean? Because they know all the stuff. They know to do the link, the bio, and all the stuff. Know to get, just know everything, how to get around certain, how to find certain shit. So now they get there, they feel like, oh yeah, all right, I know him. You know what I mean? He shouted me out. My street, like, my Instagram name, my TikTok name. So now they pump. You know what I mean? They'll go and they'll cut the road for you, right? Just tell them where to go and what to do. You see what I'm saying? So and a lot of these kids chat. As I said, in the suburb community, there's a lot of mental health kids running around because there's not there to do. There's only rocks, water, forces, and some. You know what I mean? So now they watch all this stuff, and in their mind they bored. But really, I mean, y'all don't gotta be bored. You know what I mean? You could build the next. You could be the next whatever. Y'all should lucky that y'all got them type of people up there to give y'all that resource. Like like the one dude in Julio, that analyzed Julio, he's crazy. You know what I mean? He had the whole thing. But a lot of these kids, like Julio's murderer, this is where they come from. They don't come from the ghetto. They don't come from the hood no more. I'm kidding you not. The ratchet stuff does not come from the hood no more. Okay? It does not. You know what I mean? The ratchet stuff does not. Look how these girls be walking out the suburb. You know what I mean? Jumping in their car. Like they going to a strip club, or they come from a strip club, or they're going on the sidewalk. You see what I'm saying? Real talk. And think about it. But not all of them, but majority of the middle class, even the people that don't got that much. I'm not gonna say poor class. I'm gonna say middle class and upper class. So now the middle class now is like the Chinese and or the black man or the Indian man is gonna make sure the daughter don't do certain things and come out of the house looking like that. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna check. You don't care what mommy wanna say, but in the suburb, you know what I mean? The dad say don't do this, the mom's got to, oh, leave her alone. No, it's a problem. No, you know what I mean? No, you're trapped in your house. No, you got a whole beef. You know what I mean? The mom beefing with you because you don't want your daughter going out like that. But that's what money do to you. You see what I'm saying? So now, but not everybody like that, but majority of them, they do that. You know what I mean? They allow kids, you know, they think, oh, we're living a life. You know what I mean? We have money. She should, you know, he or she should be able to do whatever they want. You know what I mean? That's why certain kids will walk around high as hell with glasses on and their dad's Ferrari. Their daddy's okay with it, even though you know your son's a junkie. But you're, you're okay with it. You know what I mean? And you know he's driving around with a strap. You know what I mean? But you're okay with it because you think, oh, it's just a gun. I'm just gonna pay my way out of it. Not knowing he's probably going out there looking up to go join a gang or be a part of something. You hear what this kid was doing? You know what I mean? They had him at a party. And they kind of did him dirty too, because they make sure he was the only one doing the crazy shit, throwing up the gang sign. What do you have? What did they say he had? Don Julio or something like that, or whatever the drink that he had. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. They watch y'all. They watch y'all because y'all be putting everything on the Instagram. That's what I said. Real niggas stopped doing that shit before COVID. You know why niggas stopped doing that? Because everybody was getting hit up. ATL, where Brooklyn, you know what I mean? What you think? They stopped doing that. That's what I'm saying. Majority of the shit that they're doing right now, it's the rich kids that are doing it, trying to act like they're in the hood. Why you think they always in their house and everything and behind them look like they, you know what I mean? They in a condo or you somewhere. Like, come on, yo. You know what I'm saying? We have no pot, we have no stove, we don't have no breaking chair. You know what I mean, right? Everything like, let's not make this up, yo. Stop. You don't have no grandma walking around. No, you know what I mean? Y'all in the suburb, y'all rich. Stop trying to act like y'all trying to be street. That's the thing that pisses me off. I don't blame nobody from doing what they want to do. Don't do the acting. When you get to the top, when you get to John Gotti or Scarface, and you want to do this, it doesn't look right. You get to John Gotti and Scarface, and you want to do shit like this, it doesn't look right. Real talk. Time, my God. My God, what's up? Bless up, brother. Bless up. Salute, time, salute. Much respect to you. Much respect. Big up yourself. You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh yeah. I seen that, but I didn't really get into that because you know what I mean. I'm probably gonna get into that, but I heard about that time they was saying that for Drake's, I mean Rick Ross started that he kind of exposed himself. You know what I mean? He kind of exposed himself, but I'm gonna get into that. I really
Who did? Rick Ross did?
Yeah, exposed himself, started beefing with Drake. I don't know why Rick Ross don't go sit down. He only acting like that because they know 50 Cent ain't gonna say nothing. Because if y'all notice, ever since they hit 50 Cent with them lawsuits and then he find out the FBI ones on it, you notice he stopped trolling. You don't get it nobody. He stayed up everybody's shit down. That shit means something. But back to what I was saying. Majority of the kids that are out there doing the gang sign, that's why some of these gang signs don't add up. That's like one time when Faystar was over here doing the gang sign and he was claiming a set. My nigga Dottie said, yo, what type of gang sign is that? How come we ain't never seen you up here before, but you throwing out that type of gang sign? Y'all gotta be watching. Y'all gotta watch what y'all doing, man. You know what I mean? That shit's real. Y'all gotta watch what y'all doing. Y'all can't be throwing up a set and don't know what the hell going on.
Most of them, I don't know. I'm glad I come from a real place, and I didn't get in it because I needed protection or nothing, and I didn't even get in it like that knee deep. I just was myself, and that's the best thing you can always be is yourself.
I hate grabber. I hate that shit. Yeah, yeah, guys. This shit crazy.
Drake is coming back. What's up, Ty?
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with this nigga texting me asking about grabber. I hate that shit.
I don't know. It seems like everybody seems to be squashing the beef.
Yeah.
Let's see how long this lasts. Let's see how long this lasts.
Everybody gonna squash beef, yo. Everybody gonna squash beef. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, here. When I went back and I watched the whole thing, what's his name basically said he doing this for money. So, but that's the thing. I don't like how 6ix9ine. I don't see. I don't think 6ix9ine is credible time because he himself like I don't know. I don't think as I said I like Gunna. I don't know because I haven't seen nothing really on Ti like that. No paperwork like Ti. Niggas gotta stop putting Ti out there, yo. They get that. You know what? 6ix9ine. You know what? Everybody problem is Ti have a hit, and all those niggas that are vlogging and doing all this crazy shit. All right. Every time we watch the game, what song they play? They play the Ti right before the halftime. Chat. No real talk. Y'all go watch anything. I don't take 6ix9ine serious when he's trying to expose people. That doesn't mean because he like especially when you snitched already and you can't be that person. You gotta get it from a person that never been there. You know what I mean? That ain't never snitched on nobody that would be like, all right, you know what I mean? But no, it's like no. When do we start taking information from a snitch?
Every day.
Yeah, yeah. Ti is yeah, but back then though, I don't know. Okay, so when he got okay, so I don't know how would you say that work, right? Because you break it down with the situation with the guns and how Ti got off, how he had to pay. Because you break it down at one point, you had the whole information there, and you was reading it to us, because I get it. Anybody got caught with more? I don't know. Would have probably done more years, but it's just the way well, you got to remember, he lost a lot. Like he basically had to start over again, like with certain things. Ti gave up a lot, a lot. You know what I mean? He did the movie role with Brown and them, and then flip the money. Yeah, but yeah, the street ain't street like that. You know?
What you say? If you got caught with all the guns Ti got caught with, yeah, you don't have 7.9 million. You wouldn't pay a lawyer $7.9 million. You don't
Yeah,
have it.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. He paid a lot, and back then that was a
Yeah.
lot.
You don't have $7.9 million to pay for a lawyer.
Back
And
then, back then, if you gave that money, you could get off because people was giving up money to get off. White man was paying that much to get off back then on certain things. Believe it or not, not even gun charges. You know what I mean? There's a couple people back then that was getting caught with young girls that was paying that much money to get out. Like they'll go to court and they settle, and that shit never came back up. You know what I mean? People that was in what do you call it? You know, I think what was it? By one of them that worked was it with the senator or some senator in the U.S. had a girl from a bit, huh? But
yeah, and again, when we get into T.I.'s case is different for a year and a day. He was being set up. He was buying guns from his security guard, who was the Fed.
Yeah, that's like saying Buju Banton did. If Buju Banton would have had money, it's the same shit. The same time. You got to remember, you know, it's like saying.
And then you got to be able. Hold on, Chef, because you got to also be able to read Atlanta law.
No, because time.
All that is counted as one charge.
Listen, yeah, it is. I'm gonna get back to you, right? Hold on. Let me say this to time. We gotta remember time. Buju, right? They say he was a drug dealer, right? Remember that the FBI or whoever, the DA, brought in, you know what, the stuff. And then he tasted and he said, yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? But there's no money. You know what I mean? So what's going on here? It's the same shit with T.I. You know what I mean? And I don't think T.I. even have all the money for the gun. You know what I mean? So it's the same shit. Like,
no, T.I. bought the guns on purpose because, like he said in the song, y'all wasn't trying to do nothing about it. What happened to Falon? Y'all wasn't trying to do nothing about it.
Yeah, they gave Buju 10 years for no reason.
But if you're not even going after Falon's killer, you know, if me going to jail for trying to get them back for what they did to my tour bus is worse than them what they did to my homeboy, I respect your decision. What he said, he was talking to the judge now.
Really? I don't know. I don't think
whoever that Alpha Mega guy is, if he ain't PSC, he's a damn lie, and that's why he went to jail. Because if he was PSC, it would be different. But T.I. just don't hire security guards. And the last security guards he did hire, one of them went to jail in front of T.I., but there wasn't nothing he could do with it. The dude was doing his own thing with the straps. And when T.I. was talking on camera, T.I. said he's over there. He might go to jail, but right now he's getting a stern talking to. You never seen T.I. pull up at a dinner date when him and his wife was going on anniversary and all that stuff. He had just got out of jail and all that people doing all that wolfing. You didn't see that army he had with him, like them real military guy. If you got $7.9 million, maybe not. Especially if the feds are selling them to you, maybe not. Like you said, there was nobody to tell on. There was nobody to tell on. And you can't say that's the same T.I. that had caught the felonies way back then, that was doing the commercials, the Dare commercials. That's not the same guy. That guy doing a Dare commercial, 16, 17 years old. This one that went to jail, 22, 23. You know, like I said, if I'd have seen if somebody from Grand Hustle had went down with him or any of that, but that never happened. He's never taken anybody with him. Nobody on Grand Hustle was taking a stand like Young Thug now. See, I walked right through that case by itself.
Yeah, they all took a stand.
If he was a snitch, why wasn't there anybody else but the FBI? That sold him the guns. That's the problem. They sold him the guns. That's why you have to negotiate a year and a day. You the one gave me this stuff. You offered it to me because you knew what I was going through. You put me in this position just to bust me. I come from his security detail. That was his security detail. So it makes sense why the dude. Which one? That's why it makes sense why the dude at Alpha Omega would say something like that.
Grand Hustle did go down.
Who is Alpha Omega? And when was he down with Grand Hustle? How come don't nobody know him? Again, if I say PSC, you ought to know PSC and Grand Hustle two different things, right? Even though it's the same people. His security detail ain't PSC.
Oh, you're saying he was the security of T.I.?
Yeah, his security detail ain't PSC, and we saw what that guy did while he went to jail. He didn't have to take the fall for no T.I.
No,
They all had automatic guns out there. He was doing something he ain't had no business. And that's when T.I. said he might go to jail, but the police is giving him a stern talking to right now.
Shit, I remember when China was going to jail. It seemed like he came out of jail to get an interview. That was funny.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same dude, but his security detail that he got now ain't PSC. Ain't Pip Scott Quick. Young Joe is PSC. They grew up together.
I forgot that Young Joe was with T.I. and them at one point too.
Yeah, huh?
I forgot that Young Joe was hanging around with. Was he hanging around with T.I. at one point?
Yeah, he stayed hanging around T.I.
Forgot about that. Man, oh man.
It looked like he with 50 Cent. This Alpha Omega dude on the video.
Are you saying he with 50?
No, it says he started out. He had one song, "I Am Alpha Omega," and it don't say nothing about him being down with Grand Hustle. You do a song with a person don't mean you down with him. Killer Mike did a song with T.I., but he ain't PSC or Grand Hustle. T.I. kicked Alpha Omega off Grand Hustle 15 years ago.
So
that's what it says.
T.I. is still young LA stuff.
It said on this date, this is May 8th, 2024. This is 2024.
Who's young LA?
Young LA was Dro dude, but he wasn't PSC. He was Dro dude, and he was from Los Angeles. He's still doing music. He was from Los Angeles, and they got a song on GDOD. He said, "Tip, if you didn't like that, why you didn't tell me?" He said, "I thought he was a dude because he had that song."
I didn't know he stole.
He said,
I didn't know he stole his style.
He said, "Had I known what I known."
So LA from what? He from thing too? He from the South?
No, he from Los Angeles. Young LA from LA. Young LA. Oh, you want to talk about Alpha Omega? On this date, 2009, T.I. was forced to boot a fellow Atlanta rapper, off his Grand Hustle Records because it revealed that an up-and-coming artist was an informant for the DEA. Hey, who was selling? Can I ask you something? Chef, who did I say was selling tip the guns?
Security guard.
Okay.
And
The online tabloid Smoking Gun first broke the story when legal documents were uncovered that showed Alpha Omega was an informant for the Drug Enforcement Agency during the trial of a heroin actor. T.I., who himself went to jail because of one of his bodyguards working with the authorities in his publicized 2007 gun buying tasting, in which Grand Hustle CEO had to serve 1 year in a day behind bars. Needless to say, T.I. was more than livid when this information about his newest artist was discovered. He took a fall for T.I.
They say from Atlanta.
Man, yo.
They say from Atlanta.
No. Young LA is still doing music. Young LA is still doing music. He still do music. He does not with Grand Hustle.
Okay.
They dropped him. That was Dro's artist. That wasn't even T.I.'s artist. That was Dro's artist. Oh, you right. He from Atlanta. I thought he was from LA. Because his name was Young LA. And it was just that style.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I'm like, if he was some.
Yeah, no, he's from Atlanta. That's right. But the boy Lay. Yeah, Dro dropped him. And they put him on GDOD. They said it. I mean, I can play the song for you. I really can. It's on GDOD. It's the first song, Who He Is. And Dro said, I would have never signed if I know that what I know. Young LA ain't with T.I. and Dro. What happened? Dro. That was Dro artist. That wasn't T.I. artist. And now we found out where Alpha Omega was a DEA agent. Wow.
Oh, he was a DEA agent?
Yeah, Alpha Omega. That's what it just said. The story uncovered. He was a DEA agent. He was working with the DEA, and T.I. was furious and kicked him off the label because T.I. was that's why I asked the question, Chef. Who did he buy the guns from?
Yeah, the security guard, no?
Thank you. So you got the rat mixed up with the rat. The rat is telling if he's saying anything, he wrong. Young LA wasn't. Yeah, that's I say that was Dro's artist. He said, had I known what I know, he said, but I got that wrong. And Dro said that. Dro said, had I known what I know, I would have never signed him, but I got that wrong. They had the conversation on a song. Literally, they had the conversation on a song, T.I. and Dro, on GDOD. Get do or die.
Yeah.
The only, and I'll tell you some Grand Hustle news that don't nobody know about, but Dro and Spody, who was real cooler than Spody and T.I., but Dro and Spody was so cool. They went to Florida and got pulled over, and Dro made supposed to have signed a statement saying that it was Spody gun, and Spody had just got out of prison. I'm glad they fixed that situation now in the public eye. Did y'all know that?
No, right. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, nobody heard that. I know about it. I mess with Grand Hustle. I mess with Spody. I mess with Dro. I was listening in when they was having a little kind of back and forth on their little deal.
Young Joe was all right. I can't remember.
Yeah, and they fixed it. Everything went away. The gun charge and everything. Since everything went away, they fixed it per se. I don't know how far Spody and Dro is, how cool they is now. If they see eye to eye, if they even talk. I just know Dro's still part of like Grand Hustle. Dro was just he about to go on tour again. Now I think his concert in Memphis got canceled. Nobody in Memphis is buying concert tickets no more. So they not going to concerts. I guess they just doing Memphis artists, from what I understand. But they're about to go on tour. Damani is already on tour. He trying to take King with him. But King done got pulled over in a Pokemon outfit, and then they roasted that boy T.I. and Damani roasted King bad, worse than the internet could ever do.
Yeah, they say he never want to come out of the car because he had it. That's the only reason he want to go out of the car.
You know, he didn't want to get out of the car because he had that outfit on. He said, I don't think he planned on going to jail in no Pokemon outfit. He said, but the police was like, did this nigga got on a Pokemon outfit? Get out the car.
Crazy.
I can't believe this nigga really do got on a Pokemon outfit.
I was like, King,
They roasted him.
King can't win, yo. He can't win.
He can't. But he taking it in stride. And then they said, should we talk bad to him on the internet? And he was like, yeah, somebody gonna say something about it on the internet. You already know. You know, he don't like when people talk about it. He don't like that.
Yeah.
They roasted him though. They roasted him so bad, nobody on the internet went and talked about King going to jail. They roasted him and Damani. And so him and Damani said he gonna give him a second chance. They about to go on tour together. And then T.I. said, well, I'm gonna go on tour and I'm gonna show y'all how a tour is supposed to be. And then the next thing I saw was I think the Memphis show that T.I. and it was some other artists, some other big artists. It didn't generate enough tickets, so they wasn't going. Just what I heard.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
King,
just what I heard.
King was looking bad in that outfit.
Yeah.
He was.
But I don't think he's facing no real trouble or no real jail time. I don't think that. But he was driving crazy and reckless. He was just one of them young nigga times. He didn't see the police and he was acting a down fool. Just not really meaning to do anything wrong, but was doing wrong.
Once again, he's not street. You see what I'm saying? So he don't know how to move.
But he was just he you know, he's a rich young kid and he's figuring it out. See, that's the thing about King being around Damani. He's figuring it out, even though he's still trying to keep this tough guy persona and all that. And the cool kid, he's figuring out that look, my life really ain't got to be as hard as I made. He's actually figuring it out. He just like to party all the time. That's King. He like to party all the time. Major is the genius. That's gonna be the one end up running everything.
Yeah, with a Pokemon outfit with the strap.
Damani, he do the Neo Soul, and then he got his oldest boy. You know, his oldest boy that look just like him. He think he Jimi Hendrix Jr. Buddy Red. Alley boy, yeah. Uh-huh.
He had a problem with Jesus.
Yeah, nah, I'm telling you, and now I'm gonna tell you, all 50 Cent did after all that, and they did all that. I'm gonna tell you something. Them boys came out. Now people actually follow them and for them and know who they are by themselves. Like they know they T.I.'s son, but they actually have made a name exactly for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tell you the truth, you got to get credit to that from 50 Cent for messing with that man, messing with that man, messing with that man's mama. Everybody understood that when you play with a person's mama, you supposed to be looking to die. You supposed to be expecting that for real.
Yeah, he's doing too much when he talked about that.
If I play with your mama, that mean I'm ready to go. It's me or you at that point. I wouldn't think about playing with nobody mama because I know how I get about mine.
Yeah.
You go to a different
Yeah, hey, for real. That's yeah, for real. So they got a chance to broadcast their talent, and now the second hit that's supposed to drop is gonna be I don't know, him and Pharrell got another one coming out. T.I. Pharrell done made another one right after this that they just made. And for him not to be the king, he just kind of came in and stepped on everybody.
No, they a lot. Yo, she be every. I'm telling you, he be doing. It'd be crazy because, as I
And he
said,
ain't even got a label. He don't even have a label. You do know that, right? Like Grand Hustle is the label. All he has now is distribution. He ain't signed under nobody. So everything he do from expeditiously to his comedy to the trap museum, all that belongs to TIP, Clifford Harris. All of it. And his wife. And I'm gonna tell you something, he got a heck of a wife too. That's why a lot of men don't have it. Man, that man got made good decisions his whole life. What's up, Sean?
no, what's good? What's good? What's good with it,
That
man?
man made, yeah, movie deal. Yeah. That man made real good decisions when in his life, especially by his wife. Because it would have been easier for her to be a gatekeeper, but she didn't. She stepped back. She was a superstar first. She stepped back.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gave him some game about the industry. She loved him enough to see him go further, and now that he went further, he done took her with him. That's why you see a lot of dudes when they make it, they can't take that old family with them because they gonna tear it down.
Yeah,
They gonna tear it down.
sure they're gonna tear it down.
Yeah, they're contentious.
Selfish.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why you see it like you never know how women are. When Travis Kelsey left that girl to go be with what you call it, right? I didn't know if that was she because she was a billionaire or was because that girl was unbearable.
who is
You
she?
get what I'm saying?
Oh, are you talking about? You talking about Taylor Swift?
Yeah, when he got with Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
was that girl unbearable? Because like I say, with
You said she don't want to marry a football player.
a lot of people need to hold you back because they scared if you make it, you gonna forget about them. But they don't understand they putting themselves in a position for you having to forget about them if you make it because all they ever try to do is tear you down, even though they claim to love you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they couldn't help themselves. They don't. You can't get mad at hateful people. They don't know why they hate. They don't. They don't. And they'll yeah, like a wife should right. But that's why a lot of relationships don't. Well, a lot of people don't know what they supposed don't know what they're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing and how to treat people, you can't treat nobody. You can't tell nobody else how to treat nobody. So that's what they call the domino effect, or you know, generational curses. They make generational curses. These niggas are stupid. Niggas dumb and can't tell nobody nothing. If you can't read, you can't teach nobody else how to read. And a lot of people get the benefit of the doubt for so long that people get comfortable. And that's the worst thing that happens as soon as you get comfortable. That's when shit changes. And if you was, and like I say, things can change on a dime.
People get comfortable.
That's why I'm very careful how I treat people. Very careful how I treat because things can change on a dime.
Right.
On a dime. Then I would have hate to treat somebody, ultimately treat them all messed up, and then they do it big, and I ain't included. If they was thinking about somebody, but other than themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you real talk though. You got some people like that, that are old school like that. You know what I mean? Where women, trust me, everything is you know, and men do
Right.
like they do it different. It's like, you know, women
Right.
don't, some women don't, and that's like, you know, but mostly in the island nowadays they do. But what are you saying? Like, you know, back then, you know, women never really used to like, you know, put their bit, you know, put their bit husband business out there like that. Or man never used to put their wife. It used to be a mutual respect.
Yeah.
You can't try to
Oh
embarrass.
no, they do it like the thing to do now.
You
They
can't
do it like
you can't embarrass your family in public or embarrass it because if you embarrass your wife, embarrassing yourself. If she embarrasses
Yep.
you, you're embarrassing yourself too. Like, you know what I mean? So
Oh, they do it like the thing. This second nature now, bro. Ham. You know everybody intimate. No. That's why I say I try not to discuss or show because especially on this platform, because you know what happens when you do that. So nah, I try to protect people. But then again, my first channel gone because of my girl. So with God, there's always that. So I told her, you banned. You're banned.
yeah.
Unless you do it on your own, you're banned.
Yeah,
And I don't think it was so much. I don't think it was so much her as it was her home girl.
I saw one.
But huh?
He was asking if we got dogs.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I teach my like at a certain thing. Yeah, I teach. You know, my you know, what do you call it? Like my daughter a certain way, a certain thing. Even though she like, you know, she on sometimes.
I
But she,
can't teach my daughter how to be a daughter, but I know the Bible got the
you know,
Proverbs 31, and then whether you a man or a woman, when you read that and figure it, you can't find no fault in no woman like that. A woman like that balling, she got her own property, she independent, she got her own property, she don't need yours, she's prudent, she don't lie. For real. If you, all you gotta do is read that, it'll tell you what the perfect woman is. The perfect woman don't even know what the perfect woman is unless they read that.
And even like a lot of European women do that. Like they Italian and be like, oh, you know, you're disrespecting your family. You know, you disrespect. Why you talking like that? That's why they check their kids. They don't let their kids go outside half naked because they be like, yo, you're disrespecting your family. You're going like that. You know what I mean? You go on Facebook. My boy tripped like that one time. You know what I mean? I like, you know what I mean? Check the girl. He's like, yo, my mom. He's like, my people. My mom follows you. You know, my people. I'm in Jamaica. Follow you. And in that party, I skin up, palm cocking up your leg in the skirt and taking picture with man. Yo, he went off. It was a big scene. We had to calm him down. Yo, he was furious. Yo, she had to delete this shit off Facebook. You know what I mean? We came to. I was like, all right. You know what I mean? Go. You know, but it didn't get violent. But even though she was wrong, we wasn't gonna let him. Like, you know what I mean? But it's respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a respect, and he wasn't that end up that right there. End up, you know, because if you're with somebody and even if you're with them long, you don't have to be married to them. You with them long because right now, if you're with somebody in this country, anywhere, You with somebody 12 months over here to a year, you're a common law. You're responsible for them. So
Right.
like that type of stuff right there is like you can't be doing that because you're not, you think you're getting clout or you're getting likes or whatever, but you're disrespecting somebody else. So
Hmm.
you know what I mean, trying to make yourself look good. A whole group of people, you know what I mean, that don't know nothing about social media lifestyle, that's walking around going to church. Nobody saying, "Hey, I seen your granddaughter over here," or "I seen your son's wife, at this
Right.
party. I thought they was together. How come she had up?" Like, you know what I mean? So now your mom has the question. So now it comes to you. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff that goes on. Yo, people don't know when they do certain things like that. It affects people, yo.
Right.
Not lie. But
I say everybody don't get it. Everybody don't get a you get what you go for. And but
yeah,
I will say this. If you ever get a song, man, if you ever get a Psalms 31 lady, keep that one. And don't look for nothing but a Psalms 31 lady.
right.
I'm just telling you from experience. Yeah, but we had something to be chivalrous about. I don't mind a woman being independent, but that's what she gonna be, because independent mean by yourself.
Comment.
Right.
You can be independent. Bye.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing. Bye. That's what you want to be, is by yourself, independent. Already. I mean, they glorify things that are normal. I mean, who else? Who else you supposed to? What? I mean, you don't necessarily need a man. A lot of women just want a man just to have somebody.
But maybe she wants to be independent by just, you know what I mean?
Or maybe a dude holds a certain status and they can't let go of that neither. Maybe they hold on to the dude because they're afraid that if they let him go and he find a Proverbs 31 woman, she gonna look like dog boo boo. She gonna look dead wrong. Cause the Proverbs 31 woman gonna put something in him where he gonna have some good right sense. So I know we done seen that before. We done seen that a lot. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Most people don't think about that
Right.
till it's gone.
That is definitely true. That is I'm happy that you could act and
Yeah,
pretend.
for real.
You know what I mean? In the back of your mind, you're like, damn, that is a fact.
Yeah. Those people, that's what I say. Make sure you find out early. People be haters. People would do everything in the world to you, let you do one, try to do something. Oh no, they in the middle of that. You better not have no fun. I'm gonna have all the fun I want, but if you start having fun, I gotta get in the middle. I gotta get in the way. I got to stop this. That's a hater. A lot of the time, that be who laying next to you.
Right. No, for real, all right.
Don't be no outside force. That be right next to you.
That is absolutely true.
Don't put me in no arena creeper. What the hell? Yeah, she's wicked.
I ain't gonna.
Out of
I ain't gonna lie. I did shoot. It's like that for me. So I don't know if it's confidence or what I look like or what, I don't know. It's just like that for me. It's not hard for me at all. And I don't care what people call me. No, none of that. I'm just me. It's not hard for me at all. I can move around. I mean, we don't seen that on this stream though.
yeah.
Nothing. I'm just talking. We don't seen this. It's not hard for me. I don't get it, girl. I don't have to. I never have. I'm spoiled. I'm ugly and I'm spoiled.
nigga Rice crazy.
Like, you ain't gonna be a simp for a woman. A simp is you can't be a simp for a woman that you love with all your heart. You love her. That ain't being simple.
Yeah, that I know. That's crazy. I don't understand that either.
Being simple is doing any kind of old fuckboy shit. You know, without. I think being simple is when you do got a good girl like that, you cheat on her and take money and do stuff like that. Take money and
Yeah.
I think simple stuff is like that. That's what I think.
Chasing a ratchet girl and doing all the crazy shit.
I mean, a lot of things sometimes you have to hold on. I remember being in one relationship, a person act like I didn't give them nothing, but every time I got my paycheck, I just came home and put it on the table. They signed it and put it in the bank. But the narrative was different because they was a hater.
You said it was a hater, right?
They don't know why they hate. There was no way they could have liked me. I still wonder why we was together in the first place. It was something else going on in their mind. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like me being with nobody else. That was just that. They couldn't stand that. No, that ain't her simping to a man. When you doing something you like to do or you want to, like when you like somebody, you want to do stuff like that.
Yeah, when you care, especially when you care about a person. You know what I mean?
But don't get it twisted with a person being a whole fuck person and then they trying to buy you back. Two different things.
Yeah.
A person that do it for no reason at all, because they like you, that ain't simping. That's the realest you can be, is do something for somebody because you want to, not for any other obligation. That's the last thing my grandma told me, was to do the right thing just because it's the right thing and don't expect nothing out of it. That was her last wish for me, and I've been trying real hard to just do the right thing no matter what. It's hard when people do you cold. It's hard when people don't think you tell the truth. It's hard for real.
Just like, hey, time. Just like I show speed when Popcorn tell I show speed. Do the right thing when you come to the island.
Yeah.
No dancing in a man lap. No locking out. hey, Rice, he told him not to sit in no man's lap. He said, no. Because when he was in Dominican, he was sitting in a dude's lap and jumping up, and putting out his tongue and acting. I think that's why he got all them views too, because he was twerking that dude. But anyways, them niggas is like, when you come to Jamaica, you don't do none of that. No. Popcorn was like, no, when you come to Jamaica, you don't do none of that. You cannot do that.
None of that.
Yeah, he told him none of that shit. Do not make this, real talk. You coming down here because you know what? Now you're breaking out kids. Now other kids see you doing that. They think it's okay to do it because you're doing it because you're famous and popular. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta check him. Yeah. You gotta check him. Like, you don't, you know what I mean? You could do them niggas down there in the Dominican Republic, but not in, or wherever he was at, that Mexican country. Yeah. You could do that down here, but down there, don't do that in Jamaica. Don't try to corrupt these kids' head, yo. That shit was funny.
Already, Tom.
Time, much respect, family. That was funny, Rice. That was funny, yo. That was funny. He checked him he's like, yeah. So when he's like, yo, if you try that shit, we're gonna burn you up with oil. He's like, shut. What does that mean? He's like, what do you mean you know what I mean? You understand me 2 minutes ago? No, you don't understand. Yo, that nigga will never go back to Jamaica. Yo, them niggas like, yo, don't do none of that, yo. You know what I mean? Real shit. We got money and we ain't doing none of that. It was funny. He checked, yo. It was funny. That was insane. Yeah, cause that's what it is, yo. we already know, like they use these kids. You know what I mean? If there's a little girl that's doing crazy stuff and she's going viral, they gonna make her do some crazy shit. So you know what I mean? You could program other kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I say, yo, you can't. People them come in your country to do certain things. I thought he was doing a lot of weird stuff too, like a lot of not island stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you think this is? You just gonna come and say, hey, let's do this. We're gonna do no. You know what I mean? That's why none of them. That's why niggas knew who Carson that was, but they never messed with him like that. You know what I mean? Because he had to do it. You know what I mean? They was giving shower baths. I mean, man, they got the soap. You were watching his back, his front. Like, what type of shit is that? We gotta stop that. If y'all wanna be what y'all wanna be all you can be. But don't just leave it out the camera. And we wonder why people be doing crazy shit. Oh. We wonder why people be doing crazy shit. They think it's okay to do crazy stuff. You know what I mean? As I said, not knowing that you're disgracing your family. You could do what you're any kid, any boy, any girl. You can do what you want to do. Just remember, when you do certain things, you know what I mean. Just remember that. Just remember who respect you, who help you go through school.
Right.
Wasn't your friends? Was your dad? That's what I'm saying. Just like this dude right here talking about. My step. I never had a father figure until when I was 16. But you got help. You got some guidance, right? So what are you mad about? So what? They should have told you don't drive down to Florida and go do a drive-by. They should have told you that too, right? Come on, yo. You see, man. Listen, what you guys don't understand. We could guide you, but a lot of us was already man when we was 16 years old growing up. Believe it or not, you know what I mean. Working, cooking, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Make sure we got food on the table before mom comes home. Make sure the house is clean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. All of that. I mean, y'all didn't brought up like that. That's why I'm saying y'all complain at 20 years old, complain like that. 20 years old and you did all that at 16, 18. You know what I mean? Growing up anyway, even right now, and as I said, in Africa and them Spanish countries, they're still happening. You know what I mean? Some of that is still happening, not like how it used to. I'm not gonna cap. It's not. They don't. Even when I'm watching the certain things back home, these kids are not moving like what they used to. But I'm like, it is what it is, because society but everybody's doing for themselves. They don't have to cook for mom. They're cooking for themselves. A lot of y'all be mad at y'all parents. Bro, get up and do something for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Real talk.
Oh.
Get up and make your own food. Get up and make your own stuff. Believe it or not, my son does. I be telling my son, like, yo, cook them kidney beans. And then he be cooking them. He knows when to turn it off and everything. You know what I'm saying? I be telling him, like, yo, mix the coconut milk with the rice. You know what? Like, you know what I mean? He's not going to tell me, oh, man, I got to do all this. Because, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to. Y'all got to have respect. You know what I mean? For y'all, you know what I mean? As I said, y'all crazy. But you teach them how to be a man. You don't teach them crazy shit. You teach them how to be certain things. It's not, you know what I mean? And then, if you feel like getting another thing after that, but you got to teach them how to survive first. Cooking, cleaning is surviving in order to do certain things. You know, math, English, science, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Human science, computer science, all that stuff. You got to let them into that. But then if you want to get on, but that other stuff, the street stuff, the OG stuff that we know is not really relevant. You can see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, used to be at least 50 niggas on the block. And they all used to come home. Some used to come home with $1,000. Some used to come home with 5,000. You know what I mean? Now they can't do that no more. You know what I mean? They can't do that no more. You know what I mean? That's why we had dope boy. That's why we had rappers. That's why we listen to these. We listen to these rappers and we could tell, oh shit, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Their shit was given to them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They have to hustle for their chain, being a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I said we can't really. That's why they can't really shit on these rappers like that. Cause they had to hustle for their chain, their cars. You know what I mean? That was given to y'all. And then when y'all can't make the music, they take it away from them. Come on, yo. Come on. But they gotta teach them, yo. We gotta teach them how to be a man. A lot of these don't, like this dude right here. Understand? He doesn't know how to be a man. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't know how to explain himself. He don't even know. That's how I know. You could tell he's not from nobody. When he was only taught how to be smart, you know, and you know what I mean. His field is only the education. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? He's a high level kid. You see what I'm saying? You never hear that he failed. He failed anything, but he wants to be cool. That's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all families, mommy and daddies, be owning engineer companies and all that type of stuff, and then you know what I mean, and all them type of stuff, and y'all still want to be in the streets doing this crazy stuff. Y'all embarrassed. Y'all got stuff. Yeah, ex-military lady. She's a former military.
What happened, bro?
No, I'm just trying to see what this person.
Oh.
Not you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was doing.
If that attorney could have told him anything, you know, different. I mean, they.
Yeah, Brian, that didn't make no sense.
They always on the Tesla. They are like if you go back right now and you look at the shooting in the parking lot and see how much shots he fired in the Tesla, like beside that Tesla was like a 14 ton. Like I don't know. They did. I just think what they did their job. You know what I mean? Right? You agree with me, right? They did their job. They did their job.
Right.
These boys are stupid. Believe it or not, yo, you know, you can't, like, you notice they didn't, because he was the only good kid. And that's the crazy part. Because they didn't care about those other guys' background. They know they was already messed up. But the crazy that he lived in a hole and he got special treatment. You could tell he even got white privilege. It's not I mean with certain things. If he got to do certain things. Everything was to go for him. Nothing was stop. You never had a struggle. You see what I'm saying? So, yo, doesn't mean that, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like people want him. It's like people on social media, right? Right? They basically want everybody to have sympathy for him. Like, it's sad. It's sad. Listen, a motherfucker, yo, listen, you let out shots, 15 shots, and lay out my kid, or you know what I mean? Or my kid do that to you, no one's a good kid at home, we're doing all whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're giving him good food, you never had, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You out there working at a certain age and on the street, you know what I mean? We making sure, you know what I mean, everything's good lights, and then you're out there doing that. You know what I mean? We trying to do, you know what I mean? Make us have a heart attack or fucking give me a, what do you call it, anxiety and bring stress on me, you know, raise my blood pressure up. You see what I'm saying? Like it's embarrassing. You gotta think, you gotta punish these kids. That's what they turn into a man. That's, you see what I'm saying? That's what you want this thing now. That's what you want. You know, trust me, I had to learn, right? Right? You have to learn, right?
Right.
You have to learn. You have to learn. I'm telling you, everybody has to learn. Everybody has to learn, son. And that's what I don't like. I think because he's rich and he's got a military background, people is like, oh, it's sad. But it's a sad situation. What's sad is that nigga let off.
That's what's sad about it, bro, Amsky. That's what's sad about it right there.
He went GTA. He went GTA or Rambo and everybody. That's sad. Y'all not that. Y'all come on. I'm saying they had. But he wanted to be this shit. See, he's blamed. He was blamed.
Why he didn't tell him to just take a plea bargain? They should have. His defense attorney should have been.
I don't like about, okay. I'm gonna say
his
this.
Defense attorney completely throw them away.
Like they want to be the streets, but when stuff happened to them, they said they got influenced by the streets. Well, you know, this nigga said. When I was in jail, I had no one to influence me. My mind was clear. No one was you know.
Maybe the defense person like defense man give him a chance.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah, but I don't think they told him there's a chance. I think that.
But why would
I think what happened was when you in situation like that, niggas when they read the Bible and they get to this Christian mode, and they have somebody just come and say, "Oh, let's go to this and do that," and they get just like dude, we saw this. Okay, I'm not listening. I'm not getting at nobody Christian, but I'm just saying I witness this. People do that type of stuff. People come out. People come out in circumstances of being a Christian, going to church, and guess what? After the 2 months, guess what? When they buck up in a certain man and certain people, you know what I mean? They start going to the church after the 3 months, or my bad, the first 2 months, and then the next Sunday they're not there. Then other Sunday they come back, and you don't see them go like, listen, this type of stuff. Switch up. They convince themselves because, yes, maybe he did get manipulated by the attorney or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he sounds like he knew that he was coming out and he was. I don't understand why would he sound up there. You know, but people are like that. People think of
that's what I'm saying, bro. You knew you was guilty. Why you do that to yourself? That was crazy.
That to me was kind of crazy. So, you know, I don't know why he did that. Did the attorney and them convince him? If did he have his own lawyer? Yeah, that's why you shouldn't have took the stand, because first of all, you should have loaded. Like you know, they caught me guilty, they caught me. Oh well, you know what I mean? You was on the Tesla, like you know what I mean. Your face was on there. It's like you like, come on, dude, and then you run back. You run back in a car that had like a smart car. Went back and parked at your grandma's house. And you know what I mean, and try to wipe it down. I don't know why people think. I don't think people because listen to this, right? Y'all gotta understand. That's why even when you steal a car, they're gonna catch you. Okay, listen to me. Y'all gotta understand how this is. That's why the one kid down here, he stole a car and went and analyzed the man, but it was a smart car, and then he burned it, and they still caught. They caught the person who was driving, and they tell him where they burned the car. All of that. That's not smart. You know what I mean? When you do, I guarantee you, if they would have burned the car, they wouldn't have caught on so quick. To the grandma's house. He had no location. A real somebody from the streets would have brought that car somewhere in the woods and burn it. You know what I mean? And buy time to run and do something. You know what I mean? He didn't like it's this case was so open and shut for real that because he's stupid. He's not a gangster. He's from Tampa. Right? And that's a rich area, right? That's one of them like real, you know, up in the suburb or something like that. So, man, you know, he was just a kid that messed up. He had a lot of good things going for him. That's the crazy part. I don't want to hear people say he got tricked or anything. Listen, you know when he got tricked? If you people are gonna say the attorney or whatever, you know when he got tricked? When he was on the internet trying to hook up when he was at his nice home, you know what I mean, peaceful, he could use the TV, he could change the TV when he feel like, he could get up and piss when he feel like, you know what I mean, you could eat, you don't want to tell you, oh, yo, it's time to eat, or it's time to go to bed, you see what I'm saying? And when that's when he tricked himself and went and go on the internet and trying to be a part of something, you know what I mean? Anything, let me tell you something, anywhere in life, people, anywhere in life, I'm going to talk to all the suburbs that want to be gangster, right? Let me show you something. Whenever they recruit you, it's either they can't do certain things, you know what I mean, and they're looking for you to do something that they can't do because they know they can't. Cause next time they're gonna go to jail, or have nobody to get them out. So they're like, "Oh, we just gonna let him do that. He's a rich kid. His mom and dad might bail him out. Cause they got all the money. You know what I mean? So they're gonna get him out. So they're not like, you know what I mean? You're not thinking about that, but you're also messing up things for your parents, their job. You know what I mean? The neighborhood now, you know what I mean? The neighbors are looking at you like, oh, the police just like, so it's a lot. Yeah, that's all they do. They do. It's like a 14-year-old go do a shooting. Where are you gonna go? And they are, as I said. Let me show you something. If it's not a kid from the suburb that's trying to be the thugged out John Gotti or Scarface, it's a 14-year-old, 13-year-old kid trying to be the next. You know, I don't know. It's insane. That to me is insane. Kev 504, New Orleans checking in. Shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans.
I dare my 15-year-old.
But it's sad, yo. It's sad. As I said, the kids that are 13, and believe it or not, I'm gonna tell you right now, I never like going in the last 5 years, bro. I never know there was so much crash of Caucasian kids that are just going around busting their guns for no reason, like busting shots all over the place. But yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that black people, we were supposed to be the only one, but I'm just saying at some point, y'all generation had y'all under control. I can't lie, y'all are out of control. Y'all are more with this shit than more we are. I swear to God, there's times I'm watching, I'm like, there's a shooting here, there's a shooting here. Guess what I'm seeing popping? White kids. But yeah, guess what? Muslim kid. Hold up, the next shooting, a white kid. Hold up, the next kid, an Indian kid. What happened? What happened? What happened? I'm just saying, it's crazy. Everybody's a crasher, so I don't know. But and it's younger too. It's not like they're like 20, you know. We said they're sensible. They're all like 12. You know, the one 14-year-old kid is a black kid. He just got charged. He just got like, I think he got 4 years or something like that for shooting somebody 7 times. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You think me tell that if I was that parents and that kid did that to I'll make sure he has no lifeline. I'm going to his mama's house and his daddy's house. Trust me. I'll make sure he come up with me. It's gonna be hard for him. That's crazy, yo, because they get away with that shit. It's sad to say, but that's why I kind of like, just, try to make teach my son how to certain stuff, how to cook and how to be in other stuff. And, try not to be like, want to be in everybody, because you see something and everybody jumping on it and everybody think it's cool. Oh my God, it's over here. It's got 1 million views. Let's go hang out over here. You don't have to be on everybody, because sometimes want to be where everybody's at. You know what innocent kid I see on the news that got analyzed because they just want to have fun and party and be in a cool circle, and they had nothing to do with gang. Nothing to do with gang. The smartest, yo. That's the sad part. And then the kids that are crash out. You know what I mean, that their mom are either.
These people ain't even organized like
No, they're not.
that no more. That's why things happen so sporadic.
They're not. Right about that.
What's up, Kev? You know what I'm saying? That's why things happen so sporadic, because these kids don't
Right about that. They
don't have any guidance at all.
No guidance at all. And
they're doing what they think they see on the movies and in the songs, and don't none of that work. That's why it's in the movie or the song.
And not even that. Remember, because remember, I don't know a lot. I don't know if anybody could answer me in the chat. So in the schools, they have guidance class, right? Where they used to go and like, your kids, you could say, all right, you're having trouble, and then the teacher, they're not even in the school no more, right? The kids are not even trying to help out the kids or guide them the right way. If they don't want to learn or they don't want to be a part of this, they could do whatever they want. They could leave, they could come back or go to the next class. Do whatever you want. We don't care. You're not trying to even like, you know what I mean, make the kid want to learn or be in an education or say, you know what, I know you don't want to learn this, but it's okay. You know what I mean? Maybe you should get better and study for this class while we go ahead and do this work since you're not interested. Instead of making the kid look like a bad kid, he's disrupting the class. That's why you see a lot of kids out in school. And a lot of them is, y'all know, let's be honest, a lot of these urban and Muslim kids, that's why they so like, it's like there's no education for them no more. Because the shit that they teaching in class is against their religion. We all know what we talking about. That's what I'm saying. The world don't respect, religion and people with, there's no rights. That's why I said, that's why we have war right now. You know what I mean? Because that's why you see so much, now the smart kids are turning to crime because they don't want to learn certain things. At one point, they used to only be scientists and mathematicians and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff that they want to do, build, construction work, shit. You don't even get that job if you don't want to be a part of certain things. It's not fair. That's why there's a lot of violence.
Man, these kids are just learning about being
they don't say
something that I can't say.
You know what I mean?
Transformers.
So now, if you don't, real talk.
It's sad.
Yo, right. I walked in the tent today with me and my girl went and did something this morning and we was coming back. Bro, we must have seen 6 Transformers.
Disgusting.
Bro, it was insane, right?
Yeah.
It was insane. That's what I'm telling you. It's insane, yo. It was so much. It's like, as I said, anybody could do whatever they want. But it's like, if y'all want to do something, don't try to make like women feel like it's a threat, or y'all gotta like make some type of face. Because anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, man or woman, yo, we all came from a fucking woman. So if y'all want to be something, be what you want to be. But when you see a woman, don't try to make it look like they're the enemy or you're mad. You know what I mean? Like, yo, the woman is the one that brought us here. You know what I mean? No, we got the man too, but you know what I mean? We need to give them the sperm for the egg, but at the same time, you see what I'm saying? Don't try to imitate, you know what I mean? And make it look like, but we both need each other. So don't make it look like, say, oh, well, you're walking down the street and, you're a transformer. Now you see a lady. Now you're trying to act extra loud. You want to, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's why people got, that's the only, people don't care what nobody want to be. We're in 2026. It's just when you do certain things, they disrespect, and then people will crash out because people have a right to. You see what I'm saying? You can't just get an upper hand because you're part of something and then you don't want. No, when this person gets, you get it like an idiot and this person want to call you out. No, they this and they that. Oh my God, he's only saying this because I'm this. No, don't be like that. Be fair. Be fair.
The woman calmed the man down. They have different formats. The woman calmed the man down when they're about to go to jail or do something stupid, right. And the men will calm the woman down when they're acting too hostile or too like mopey or
yeah. A woman can't calm a woman down when a woman is acting extra emotional. They both gonna get emotional. A man will calm you down when you get emotional. Yeah, you know what I mean? And calm you down and tell you, oh, it's okay. You know what's right for you. A woman could tell a man, yo, baby, let them niggas go do the drive-by. You ain't gotta jump in the car. You got a baby on the way. You know what I mean, Rice? There's levels. Yep. There's levels. You know what I mean?
Oh no, they ain't doing that no more. They trying to.
Yeah.
They probably gonna try to get your girl when you gone.
Right. They used to do that, but not like how they do it now. And I get what you're trying to say, but I'm just saying, like, what we're saying is like, you know what I mean? The woman, you know what I mean, will keep you out of trouble. You know what I mean? The man will be a nigga be like, yeah, grab the strap, let's go do this. The girl will be like, nah, don't go do that. You got this going on. You know, you might want to think about it. You see what I'm saying? And then they'll,
I know.
No, a man now, he'd be like, yeah, do that. And the woman would be like, oh, leave her alone. She's supposed to cry. You know what I mean? And then they both get emotional. But when a woman is with a man would be like, yo, it's okay. You know what I mean? Bring her out. You know what I mean? Do certain things. Before he brings her out to the restaurant, you know what I mean? You know, Rice. Girl, you know, your wife and my wife, she's gonna stop cry before anything. You know what I mean? We get in public, and then he's just gonna go from there. That's the difference between saying like y'all could be whatever y'all want to do, but you know what I mean. If y'all want to be transformer, do all that, but don't make the women them feel like they, you know what I mean. They you know what I mean. Make them feel uncomfortable because I feel this way. If a man could get blamed for making a woman feel uncomfortable, transformer should be able to get blamed for making a woman feel uncomfortable.
You mean if a man can get blamed for verbal abuse, things like that? Yeah.
Right. Right. And a transformer should too. Real talk. A transformer should too. Real talk. There's a woman, I notice a lot of women quick to say that, jump in other people's, do. Even though he never hit you, he verbally abused you. But yo,
exactly.
Like why the fuck?
But let's keep it 100. There's more domestic with woman and woman than with man and man.
That is a fact.
A woman cannot deal with another woman's bullshit. Me, I'll kick her down. I don't like bitches.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Never at the island. Don't do that. When you come to the island, don't play them game there. Don't sit in my lap.
Wow.
Yo, y'all gotta understand, yo. Y'all think Africa and Jamaica play with these weird ass stuff. I keep telling people, yo. Maybe Nigeria. Only Nigeria. Only Nigeria. Nigeria will do that shit. Nigeria allow you to do all that shit, jump around, jump in people's lap, just like females and all that type of stuff. Other African countries they're not doing that.
I just don't understand. I can never. I don't get it. But I'll never understand. I'm glad my daughter's gonna grow up to be a woman.
My nigga said, you know what I mean? When you come to the island, we don't play that. Yeah. People say you're too aggressive. Why Jamaicans gotta be so aggressive?
Did you tell Rice about the girl that said, "Oh, you guys are smart to keep a kid in homeschool"?
Yeah, I did a white lady, right? You know what I mean? She's like a younger version of Sherry.
You're stupid.
What a God.
No, you low key, not like that. Like
Anyway, she a younger version of Sherry. I'm blonde hair and everything.
I've known her for a while.
Came to my girl mom's house and heels and everything.
Yeah.
Eyes and everything. In my head, I said, yeah, this is a younger version.
No, she's always, oh, you guys are smart.
You know what she said? You know what she said? She's like, oh, you know, keep your kids out of the school because you keep them out of the system. And she said, you know what? They're trying to just turn the kids into da, and then, you know. Remember, I keep telling y'all, the Caucasian people know, they talk behind the scene. They just, you see, like us black people, we get mad and we act like the only one. We're the only one that know this. We're the only one that know this shit. But the white people, they know this shit, and they're not with this shit. They be like, But as soon as they go to the house and close the door, they're like, fuck them people. They're not. They be go.
Oh no! Hold on. Let me see.
Yo, she said.
Her grandkid came home with the freaking.
She said.
They read something.
She said the kid read some stuff in the book.
No, the kid read a book to them.
Oh, you want me to drop the link? Okay, my bad. Let me drop the link. You gotta go to my page. You gotta go to my page. So what you do? There's a vertical, right? And there's a vertical, and there's a.
No, I think he's just on mine. I think he's just in mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said her grandkid came home and said they read a book to me.
But I think I dropped it.
She went to the school.
Hold on.
Blasted them.
Because it got the little link on there, but hold on. Let me
see what. I'm gonna go for mine. I'll see what. Wait.
She said she went to the school. They put them on blast.
Oh yeah. He's on yours.
Oh yeah, I dropped it over there. It fell over there. It fell over there.
Janine, where are you? I can't find you. Where? I can't find you. Oh, you're right there. Where's your character list?
Kids, young.
I mean, she went to school. Don't ever read that book to my child or my grandkid again. You want me to come back up here?
Yeah.
She said we're smart to keep our kids homeschooled. Keep them on the damn government system. All they're trying to do is turn them.
That's why these kids are out there doing the violence like that. Why do you think out of these kids from Africa, they're coming in the country and dropping out of school?
Exactly.
Because that's not a part of their religion in their country. They pray like 5 times, 3 times a day. So why are you teaching them about? Why you got all this stuff that you know other people and we're welcome people into the country, right? So why not keep them in their country, knowing that they're against the stuff that we bring in? That's why I said you guys set up people all the time.
You know why they're bringing them here though? They don't care about that. They care about they want them to work what do you call that? Not free labor though. Minimum wage.
Yeah, because
they know them asses like slaves. That's what they're doing.
And
that's sad.
That's North America, bro.
Gee, where did you go, you little booger head? Okay, let me find you. I can't find you. You always say him right there.
Hey, Rice.
Right there.
Rice. I know you. How come I never heard you complain about what Trump said? Trump
What
said,
did he say?
they're asking, yo, what about the people in America? You know, what's gonna go on with the, since the war is still going on. Wait, can you stop it, brother? They asked him, like, are you worrying about people losing certain things because they wealth, the war is going on? He's like, yeah, I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about nobody. What I'm worrying about I think said what I'm worrying about is Iran not having a nuclear weapon. So he's not worrying about who's going broke or nothing. You see what I'm saying?
No, he ain't.
Hey, this is insane. They said he's not worrying about nothing. He's not worrying about the gas price. He said, this is what he said. He said, when this is over, everything's gonna drop like a rock. Yeah, you can't make this up. I said Donald Trump be making up because I know he be making it up because they look when he said that they all looked at him like, huh, who said that?
Right.
One of the people, because they don't want to go to jail now. That's what I noticed. So whenever he says something wrong, before they would sit there with a straight face and laugh and shake and clap. Now, when he says something, they look at each other. That's telling you that, nah, yo, he by himself. We're not going to jail with this. Nah.
Yeah, they're not gonna go to jail with him.
They don't want no smoke.
They don't want no smoke, Remember, these are girls. You know what I mean? He got a lot of women with him, so trust me. Like, this is not like those other guys. They'll sit up there and take Donald Trump charge and go to jail for him, but trust me. All these girls, I'm tell you this, all these girls that work for Trump, I get fired, they're gonna testify against him.
What you eat? Big bag. I'm not hungry right now. You not see what I ate earlier?
Alright, fine.
I just love when my daughter calls people handsome. See, I don't like, they're like, oh, he's cute. She goes, you're handsome.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. She knows, like, I know the boy. Oh, yeah. Okay, do you have your kids and you go them a certain way? But at the same time, yes, you could be like, oh, don't listen to that type of music, or you can't go there, some type of bullshit, or you could just like, you can't be like a strict parent and make it look like, oh, black people are bad when you're black, because guess what? Your kid's gonna meet a kid online and go hang out with a black kid and do gangster shit. Right. So, don't be a parent. A lot of these black parents are like that, where, oh, those guys are ghetto and they come from here and all that type of stuff. Don't hang out with them. And then, you know what I mean? A lot of these guys that from the suburb that are getting, caught up into this, gangster stuff. They what do you call it? How do I say this?
They didn't have no heart. So
No,
they couldn't do right by you. They didn't have no heart. They wasn't that smart. And not having no heart can make you make crazy decisions. But like I said, once I found out what a hustler really was, but then again, I had to go away to actually get the game. I didn't get the game from my time. I went away and got the game, the real game. What they were trying to emulate. And I didn't notice it like that until I got back. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's just sticking out like a sore thumb. So it made me stay away from a lot of stuff because I got the game. And once I understood, hey, when you a hustler, that's what you are.
Right.
That's exactly what you are. You don't have no friends in that. And through the years, as I see, when a person don't know what you're doing, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you won't prove nothing to them because you don't really give a damn.
Right.
Rumors.
It's true.
All kind of stuff. And you really trying not to matter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't intertwine with nobody on purpose because you knew you got the game. And we wasn't never friends. We was hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, some of us play shy and don't say nothing. You know me, Chef. I don't say nothing. I let you play yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
know me, Chef.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to it, every single time, right, Chef?
Yeah.
I don't even be knowing. Why?
Exactly.
Because I didn't have no malice on my heart. Now,
Not, never came with hate like that. You know what I
I
mean?
never had hate. So it's kind of like a blind side, but now you get to a point to where you expect it. Know what I'm saying?
The game.
Equal.
Because we're all in competition and nobody will admit that. You getting some money, that's how you keep score. Your possessions. That's how people keep score. What's up, Brian?
What's down, baby? How y'all doing on this Monday? Well, it's Tuesday, rather.
Good,
Damn,
good.
I'm so busy. How y'all doing today, bro?
Pretty
Beautiful.
good, man. Pretty good.
Well, first off, shout out to my city. Shout out to y'all city as well, man. I'm from the New Orleans area, but I grew up in Baton Rouge. I'm from the whole, I'm a hometown kid, but I peeped y'all channel a couple days ago. Want to tell y'all shout out to y'all. I was in the chat just
Much
now. You
respect.
know what I'm saying?
Is
Already,
Daniel,
man.
is Daniel with you too? Daniel,
Say
is
it
he with?
again.
Brian? Is Daniel your people?
No, no, sir. Oh,
No,
when
he's
you say
got
my
white.
people, you mean
He
do I
got
know him personally? Do I know him personally?
yeah.
No, sir, I don't know him personally, but shout out to him though.
No. He just got in the background. He's got like
Overwatch cards.
I know he's got I don't know Overwatch cards. He went from Daniel to white man. So I don't know what's going on with him. So
For sure. Well, shout out to the gentleman, man. Well, first I'm gonna say this, bro. I don't know how many people watching this right now, bro. I'm from a neighborhood with a lot of criminality, with a lot of people who go to jail and shit like that. I'm gonna just say this, bro. Bro, stay out of the system, man. If any young kids get in, stay out the system, bro. I mean,
For real.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it all the way. I just say where I'm from. I'm gonna keep it gutter. I'm gonna keep it gutter. I'm gonna keep it all the way gutter. Um, I understand in this day and age we got a lot of people who may not be from a certain area who think that jail and prison is this place where you go to get reformed and stuff like that. Listen, bro, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I have never been, but I don't need to go to the ocean or that bitch is wet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
I don't need it. I don't need to go to a volcano that bitch is hot. I don't need to touch the
Oh
sea to know that
man.
bitch hot. I got enough family members, including people in my direct family who have been incarcerated, and they tell me enough. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Prison might be worse nowadays than it's ever been, mainly because this is probably the worst generation of people ever.
right,
And
right.
here's what I'm gonna say, bro. Um, I had a dude tell me, kind of cool. I was in the military. I was in the
Yeah.
military for a long time, and I had a dude tell me he think that 50% of people in prison are innocent. And I told him, I said, want to know how I know you know that's not true? How many prisoners how many street dudes have you ever hung around in your entire lifetime? Just let me ask you that question. Look, bro, respectfully, and there's a lot of good men in prison, but but let's be honest with me. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Prison is full of people that are some of the dregs of society. You feel what I'm saying? Dangerous ass people. And where I'm going with it is this: this young man and his little partners who killed that rapper up in
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest with you, bro. They don't got the background to survive inside prison, especially that light skinned boy.
Exactly.
They don't got all three of us. All three of us are very familiar with that lifestyle, and I can tell you like this, yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. Prison is for people that have been. Prison is for people who've been in the streets since there was like 10, 11 years. Jumped off the porch, so to speak. These are kids who I can tell they're doing this for the hoes, they're doing this for clout, they're doing this to be cool. These are not kids who understand the ins and outs of criminality. You know what I'm saying right now? These are not the kind of kids who
They wasn't
understand.
raised like that. They don't have no game like that because they wasn't raised
No,
like that.
No, and it's unfortunate when I say this, but understand what I'm telling you. Most people in the state and federal penitentiary, especially in level 3s and higher, these are people who've been going to jail and prison all their life.
Yep.
These are not regular people. These are people with severe mental issues. These are people with extreme temper issues. These are people who do not live the same way a suburban or civilian
Normal.
person lives. I'm
Right.
sorry to tell you. These are These are people who we're all friends with these people. But guess what? There's a reason why when we get older and we become successful, we might say was down with it, we might tell them was down with it, how you doing? We don't hang around these dudes when we get, you know what I'm saying? We become, want to know why? A lot of these dudes have the kind of habits that make it very difficult to live around them. I'm just being honest with you. The thing is, you taking the stand trying to sound proper. You know what I'm saying? You taking the stand trying to sound proper. You taking the stand, which is a terrible thing to do. I don't know who gave him that kind of legal advice. It's a terrible thing to do. You heard me? He should have just sat his ass down and took his damn charge or plead out like a man. But
Right.
like I said, these are the type of kids where you can tell they might have grown up in the suburbs, but their parents weren't hard enough on them. They just wasn't. Parents, hey, bro, it don't matter where you grow up at. Mom and daddy got it. It don't matter if your parents live together. Mom and it's more than just spanking, and you got to actually instill morals, values, and a compass of direction in your children. You got to. You know, like I said before, I put in the chat recently. I know the young man. God bless his soul. I know that kid who shot up the mall in Baton Rouge. I know him very well.
Okay.
I know what kind of household he came from. His mama did her absolute best, but guess what? At the end of the day, you gotta instill a certain level of discipline in your child. Not just cuss them out. Not
Right.
just say, you gotta put in your child a moral compass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Putting your child a moral compass. You feel what I'm saying? And what I'm getting back to is this. These are kids. Now I don't know about the other ones. The other ones, but that light-skinned one, that other boy, from all that was reported, it sounds like these are kids. You know what I'm saying? These are kids who, let's just be honest, they shouldn't have been out in those streets, bro. They should not have been in those streets, bro. Like these are the kind of kids
It's the whack.
They didn't have no business.
They whack.
bro.
They whack.
And I'm not gonna carry on no tangent like that, but I will say this. Wait, hold on. Somebody's typing something.
Yeah, that's the dude in the back chat. He just that's the dude he went from Daniel to white man. He's the guy that been trying to come up. I was asking him because when you popped up, he came in with you. That's why I asked if you know him. He's just a
Bro, I don't know.
Don't even act like he's not even there. He'll be all right. Just keep on going.
Yeah, he'll be
all right, bro. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Just act like he's not even there. He'll be all right. That's all you gotta do.
Entertain dudes.
Bye, Mr. Bean.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Bean.
Yeah, I don't entertain dudes who can't get no pussy. But anyways,
yeah,
no, bro,
you yo. We don't hey, that's our first. He ain't never been here. That's why I didn't want to let him up because I seen you in the chat. You've been typing with us in the chat. I seen you, but I never seen him type in the chat. That's why I asked you, but we don't know who he is, so don't think that, you know what I mean? We're not trying to
no, bro.
Okay.
Bro. Y'all seem like, first of all, can I tell why I respect y'all so much? Y'all respect black women. I respect y'all. You know, y'all seem like y'all respect me. Y'all seem to respect. Y'all seem to be respectful gentlemen. You know, I'm all about respect.
I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
You know,
yeah, man, that's what we about.
Unless I gotta be disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? But
we went through it. We had to go through it and learn something in order to do better.
All good. It's all good, bro. Hey, man, none of us are perfect here. Look, man, I'm not gonna be here much longer. But I'm gonna just say this. Stay out of prison, bro. Prison is a place for people that are bad people. I understand we all got family members who might got railroaded by the system, family members who might not. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I done met a lot of prisoners, bro, in my lifetime, and I can just be honest with you, bro. Most of these dudes are animals. Most of these dudes are monsters. Most of these dudes, and these dudes don't even understand what they put themselves through. They just don't. Like, especially in a place like Florida, where there's a lot of ignorant ass people in that damn in their DOC. I'm just being honest with you, bro. You just signed up for a lifetime of hell because bro, you just do not have the background to survive in an environment that, what's the word I'm looking for? An environment that,
He gonna have to adapt. He either gonna adapt or get ate up. But it looked like he about to get ate up because
yeah, like,
he
I
should
don't
have
think
took the plea
that's
if he was gonna get up there and do all that. Because you
you
can't show
know,
no heart or no weakness.
you can't, because like I said, bro, you're gonna be around people who, let's be honest, a lot of these dudes got low ass IQ. I mean, I don't even want to insult. The thing is, there are people in prison who I love, but the problem is, these are dudes who don't have the highest level of emotional intelligence. So if they see a sign of weakness, they're not gonna feel sorry for you. They're gonna see you as a target, and they're gonna see you as something to fuck with. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes in prison are bullies. These are the kind of kids, bro. They should have had their ass in a college or something. Not going on a damn, basically an assassination. They went on it. I mean, little boys call it drill. They really went on it. Really went on an assassination. If you want to talk about it,
Yep.
right.
you know. I mean, and there is no happy ending to the story because, bro, there are. Bro, Julio wasn't no good kid. But the problem with this is this. This just opened the doors to a lot of violence in Duval County for the next I don't know how long. It's gonna be
Right.
very violent in Duval County. I mean, like I said, I'm from the New Orleans area, but I'm very familiar with the South. I'm very familiar with Duval County. I can tell you, bro, that little bitch right there is bumping. That's a dangerous town. It's a very dangerous town. A lot of violence, a lot of ignorance, and I can tell you like this, bro. This just opened the doors to a lot of just ignorance gonna be in the streets all summer long, and God knows how long. You heard me? So
Yeah.
you know. And I'm gonna end with this. I'm gonna end with this. Uh, if you were a mother, part of my language, if you were a mother flipping turtleneck sweatshirt to a to a damn, to the biggest moment of your life, you deserve everything you get.
Man, in the summertime.
And not
When
only
you
the
see how the collar was rolled down
these
like that.
folks,
You remember
Yeah.
how when you was a little kid, you roll your tube socks down and make that little donut at the bottom of your socks?
hell yeah,
That's how he got his turtleneck roll. Look.
man. Let me tell you something, Wolf. These are actual suburban kids. These are the kind of kids with
Yeah.
limited life experience. Look at that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Look at it. Exactly.
These are,
Who told
and
him
there's nothing
to
wrong with that. You could be a man. Look, bro, you could be a real man and be from the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a real man and be a tough dude. You know what I mean? You gotta be no gangster, bro. These are suburban kids with limited life experience, limited emotional maturity, and they out here
That's
committing
called
heinous crimes.
he's done. Hey, Sean, you stupid as
I
hell.
think they looking for somebody for some attention, and the ones who paying the most attention gonna be the ones who gonna have them doing stuff like this.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, look at his face. That's the face. See that face right there? That's
That's
supposed
a
to be
fake.
his face in front of his college professor when his professor asked him, "Why'd you
Mm-hmm.
get a B instead of an A, son?" Or
Yeah.
I just didn't study. Not That's the face you give whenever you try to sneak into your mom or your dad at house trying to sneak some tail in.
Right.
Not you sitting here trying to talk about, I ain't mean, bruh.
We all saw the evidence. We all saw the evidence. Dog, the evidence is against you, dummy. What the fuck is you talking about?
No, I mean they don't.
They just putting you on display. They displaying you to let that's gonna get back to the cell, bro Hansky. That ain't gonna be fly. I don't know what your lawyer told you, and I don't know where you need to fight him in that courtroom in
Yeah,
front of all them
man.
people having you take a stand.
And you
You
said it
had
first,
no business on that stand, family.
son. And another thing
No
too,
business.
sir. Let me tell you something too, sir. You just said a mouthful. Let me tell you what else you said. Sell politics. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't know about you. I heard a little bit of snitching. I heard a little bit of snitching when that man was talking just now.
Oh yeah.
I heard
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit of. Let me tell you, bro. This street politics goes so deep. It's so. That's why I said, man, don't get involved with that shit, bro. The thing is that street shit, that ghetto shit.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
me tell
yeah.
you something, bro. It goes so deep. It goes so deep. Like there's so many rules and as we say in the military, limits of advance, like things you can do, can't say. You don't want to be involved with that, bro, because it's shit.
Yeah.
You're not gonna learn that when you that's what you learn when you 10, 11 years old, not 19, 20, 21. That's how deep it goes. It's like, you know, he probably don't even know he probably snitched a little bit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. That's a big jump. And he don't notice people.
He
He don't notice.
know. You know, he going and on top of that, bro, Julio is a lot of things. Julio's he's a gangster. He got homeboys in the penitentiary. He got people who listen to his music in the penitentiary. Bro.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, like it's just
So
so deep, man.
this guy comes back with a black face. Yo, this guy does not give up. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Yo, why you want to come up here and look at this weirdo?
Oh my god.
He's good. Yeah.
He's a fucking weirdo. He's got fucking gay prone in the back. Mother, yo, what up? Like, what the
You want
fuck?
your channel gone bad.
Yeah, weirdo.
I don't know what y'all see. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna take y'all word for it.
That is weird. Like, what's up with that type of
No, remember the dude that was commenting in the back? He in my
that was him,
channel.
yo.
He over he must be in my channel because I just dropped the link.
Yo, I'm banning him.
So it's a stalker, it's one of my stalkers in my channel.
You know what it is? He attacked. I don't think he don't like what Brian said. You know what I mean? He don't because he came attacking him. If he got him, you know what I mean? So he must have said something in the chat that he didn't like because he came in right after he came up. Right after,
He's trying to antagonize Brian, but Brian is way too cold. You heard how the young man just talked.
Yeah,
around.
He must have said something in the chat that he
He
didn't
don't
like.
care about this like that. He not trying to get emotional and fight with you over in no box, in no computer screen, in no phone.
Absolutely not. There's too many beautiful women. There's too many beautiful women for me to get with, for me to be worried about.
I'm telling you.
I mean, yeah, say what you got to say.
He came with a picture looking like Il Negro.
If that's how you feel, all right. Next, because we wasn't even talking about that.
Picture looking like Il Negro, yo.
But nobody talking about what he served or if he served or none of that. All that you put back there, don't nobody. That's why I didn't even acknowledge it. I never said no, but yeah, just let him keep typing. He'll be all right. He'll be strong. He'll make a million. Look, he'll make a million profiles. Just keep banning him. And once he gets through making emails, I don't know. Unless he got them in his pocket. But they'll do that all night. That's dope. To me, if you ask me, you work the shit out of it. I don't understand.
All that profile making, I bet he ain't got a
Yeah, when all you gotta do is go on your channel and then post our channel talking. Well, he could do a review on our video. He ain't gonna do nothing but make people come over here and see what we talking about when they see that we talking about the neck. And why he mad? God, whoever back there,
y'all redneck white kids, yo. Did I say something? I told y'all niggas.
No, I'm just saying, why you so mad? Is you mad because we talking? Is you mad because we talking about the dude turtleneck?
That was a white boy doing that, bro. And he's so weird, right? He thinks we're stupid. So what he did, right? He came up with his real name, Daniel, something or another. You could tell it was made up. But when I called out his name, he went and switched in his name to White Boy. Then when I kicked him out, he came back with a picture. Right, so I swear to God, like he must have went and copied Il Negro shit. Came in with a picture looking like when Il Negro was in his car.
Boy, everybody on this damn panel right now will flip your damn mama. Stop playing.
Yeah, he's crazy, yo.
Everybody on this damn chat.
No, he'll try to get the channel banned. What he'll do is he'll turn on his camera and try to do something. He'll turn on his camera and try to do something sexual and then shit won't have no channel no more. That's why our friends don't got no channel no more because of him. We got some weird talkers, man. Forgive us. We ain't like that.
Yo, you know what it is? He probably didn't. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what he didn't like. He didn't like that we was talking about the Transformers, yo. The man came and did gay shit and thought I was gonna let him up, bro. He had some weird shit in the background, bro.
Well, you know them people was mad at us. Look, Brian, we had a guy that tried to be part of the community, and we was cool with him because we thought he was kind of slow. But the whole time he was working for these dudes, making these little boys take pictures of themselves. And when we exposed it, Now they mad at us and trying to get all our channels shut down.
Didn't I tell you that? Right? Didn't I tell you that they're trying to get me and it wasn't YouTube that was doing it, it was other people? You know what I mean? And they try to report me. You know, they tell me that I never did anything. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah,
is crazy.
they crazy. I told you they crazy. That's why you can't argue with them no more. Plus, it's been too many years. Y'all ain't tired. Well, get obviously
So you've been
not.
doing this shit for a while.
I'm just
Yeah.
man, 10 years. Shit.
Bro, you've been on different YouTube page, other YouTube
They don't make
channels.
YouTube channels and everything.
But,
Damn, bro.
yeah,
They made us feel like small celebrities, fam. For real.
that's not even funny. That's not funny, yo. These weird ass people, yo. That's why I
Yeah.
keep away from certain subjects. Every time I
That's
talk
why
about
when I
the
fuck
same
a,
thing.
that's why when that part of my French, I hope I can. That's why when I smash a white woman, I don't feel as bad no more.
I'll be getting back.
That's why when I slut out people, that's why when I slut out this dude mama, I don't feel as
We
bad
gonna
no more.
make all these kids black.
Yeah,
We
man.
gonna
That's
make
why I
all
slut out
the
this
kids
dude
You
black.
gonna
mama.
make him come back,
Let me
yo.
tell you something, bro.
Yo, mad at you, yo. You must have said something that triggered him because he came and attacked you, Brian. Like he was going.
Yeah, he must have, he didn't say nothing wrong though.
He snapped his
Unless
finger.
he Unless he
Snapped his
that boy
finger, wagged
understand
his
what
finger. You
because
didn't
that
say
boy,
nothing.
hold on, wait a minute, Brian, wait a minute. I got it. I figured it out. That boy on the stand, he mixed. That must be his cousin. He mad at me. He talking about his mix.
Oh Lord, you killing me. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah,
Put the
your
picture
cousin.
back up there and tell me that boy ain't got something else in him other than
No,
us.
he mixed.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
because they
White
was
boy
That
telling
nigga,
me
mama.
her
about
way
this
too
They
pretty.
gonna
man.
put that. They gonna put that plank. They gonna put that
Tell
plank. They gonna put that sausage on your cousin. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Tell,
In that world, they gonna put. Let me tell you what they
that,
gonna do to your cousin. First of all, let me like Charleston White. I don't like Charleston White, but let me tell you what they gonna do. Let me tell you what they're gonna do. Check this out, y'all. See, your cousin's a square, just like you, white boy. He a square. He's a nerd. He a dork. So really and truly, he don't understand how the streets work. Cause all prison is the ghetto. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Prison is really the ghetto. Prison is full of project people, street people, people from the hood, real gangsters, real steppers, real street sneaky people, right? Your
right.
cousin's a nerd. Your cousin's a gamer. He don't understand how to get. We're all probably from that environment. I'm assuming, right? So we know how the
yep,
streets work. And when you in the streets,
yeah,
what's the one thing you don't do? You don't run your damn. See, your cousin's gonna go to prison, right? He's going right now. He's sad. He's hurting. But when he gets to prison, he's gonna put on a front like he hard. Oh, I killed Julio. Let me tell you what he's gonna do. See what's gonna happen in intake. He gonna try to make friends. Let me tell you what he's gonna try to make friends in intake. He's gonna try to make friends. He gonna try to make friends with somebody, probably in a gang, probably some Bloods, probably some, I don't know, whatever they got in Florida, right? Let me tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna make your cousin, who's a punk, just like you is, right? He's a square, he a lame, just like you. They're gonna make your cousin feel real comfortable. What's gonna happen is, let me show you what's gonna happen. They're gonna start telling your cousin, say, bro, if you need anything, just come to us.
yep,
You know how that shit go. And what's gonna happen is your cousin gonna get real comfortable. Like I said, he don't understand the streets whatsoever. And what they're gonna start doing is say, bro, um, say, man, my commissary came in late. You can call your people, let them know, hey man, you hear me? You can get your people to send me a little something. Oh, it's out, sure, bro, sure, homie. He gonna start sending them money. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So what's gonna happen next is
yep,
this, white boy. What's gonna happen next is this, white boy. Your cousin gonna start giving them shit, right? Giving
But
them shit.
his real name, I think his real name is Daniel. Daniel's
Oh,
Overwatch.
damn, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. They're gonna
Overwatch.
start. What's gonna happen to your cousin is this, Daniel. We're gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Daniel's
First,
Overwatch.
what's gonna happen to your cousin is this. They're gonna make your cousin feel like they're your friends, right? Really and truly, they sizing your cousin up. They sizing your cousin up. Then they're gonna start saying, say, bro, you need some shower shoes, you need any food, you need any, just kind of lining them up, just doing what you do to a pretty girl, right? Give her everything you want, give him everything you want. See what's gonna happen is, bro, your cousin gonna be in the cell one day, and they're gonna brush past him and be like, what was that all about? Oh, my bad, homie, I didn't mean to. Before you know it, your cousin is a bitch. He don't even know it yet. Your cousin's a bitch. He don't even know it yet. He don't even know when a nigga brush up against you in any kind of situation, you're supposed to steal off on that bitch. And what's gonna happen to your cousin is, bro, before you know it,
What's
The
good,
next
Dan?
time you see the little hoe, he gonna be in a fucking dress. Fuck you, white boy. Catch y'all later.
Yeah, all right.
Already.
Already.
Next time you see your damn cousin in DOC when you go to visit him, if you even got a car, because your broke ass probably ain't got no damn car, your sissy ass probably ain't got no damn money. Next time you see him, that little bitch gonna be in a damn dress, and his new name gonna be Carmisha. Catch y'all boys later. God bless.
All right.
Already.
That Carmisha. Yeah, yo, that was that.
He's
That's
gonna make it.
that was
He's gonna
crazy.
make it, Jeff. No, the young boy gonna. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how prison politics work either. I just know. I don't even know really how county works like that either. I never did anything that I couldn't pay for right up. That I didn't have it ready to go. You get what I'm saying? When
Yeah,
things went like that. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the young man's fate. I hope none of that happened to him. But if you was gonna get up there and be sorry, you should have. Just in my opinion, you should have just took a plea deal and been on the news like he took a plea deal, like a plea deal. You shouldn't have been trying to be up on the stand. You don't take the stand, fam, unless they make you. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know who told
He
you
was
that.
trying
I
to,
don't know why your defense attorney got you up there like that. I
yeah,
don't know. I just don't know. Maybe he don't want you to make it. I don't know.
yeah. That's crazy.
But that's gonna put you in a certain position.
'Cause now
I'm
they
just
gonna
being
look, yeah, because now they gonna look. They could be like, yo, you if you never went up there, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? We would have been. You got us more time. You know what I mean? All that.
right.
Well, for him, anyways, because like it seemed like he was trying to sink himself more than he was. You know what I mean?
But he was trying to show remorse.
Mm.
And that's what the attorney kept saying. Did you have any remorse? Did you have any remorse? And I don't even know what that word means. Did you feel bad? Of course I felt bad. That's why I was hiding everything.
It was good. It was
I
good.
knew I had did something wrong. If I didn't feel bad, I would have never been hiding anything.
Mm.
If I thought this was normal, of course I felt remorse, but he didn't know how to answer. He wasn't. They just they got him
Yeah,
up there looking down. They did that actually to set an example.
he wasn't ready for that yet. He wasn't ready for that. I don't know. You know, they should. I think they put him up there to hang himself though, like that.
For real.
I would have told him if I was the lawyer, I would have told him not to go up there. Yeah.
But chef, I'm in the comments. Let me
Yeah.
I gotta move around. Gotta get this battery charged. I'm in the comments.
Alrighty, guys.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but his lawyer should never put him up there. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That was a bad move. She's gonna come over there and nice one, lady. Come sit beside her. Yeah, his lawyer should never put him on the stand. I said my spot, lady. I'm gonna come sit beside you. Oh man, if it not come here,
What's up? Why you coming in?
yeah, his lawyer, that was stupid right there. And that's too late. That's too that's too late for all that right now. I think maybe put him up there, try to save himself from the death penalty. You know, maybe he thinks by putting his client up there is gonna, I don't know. But that is Jacksonville, Florida. Don't play. You know, you gonna just it's not not gonna be easy for him like what Brian would say. They're not built for that life. Trust me. They're not Yeah, he's scared. Yeah, man. That's why he don't want. I think he just want to. I think he just want to stay there and be some type of work for the jail the rest of his life because he was talking about being, you know, basically. I know, I guess they're looking for activists in jail for kids now to keep them, when they come and make sure they don't come back in. But I think he was up there because he was trying to get a job up there to work, for them people. That's what I think. I don't know. But yeah, but those are the scariest people. The people I'm unalive. They'll be the word like you went up on you probably see somebody bragging about unaliving somebody, right? And all that crazy shit. And next thing you know, when it's their time to die, they're crying worse than the person that they you know you be hearing the stories that they be doing it. They be begging more. You be hearing the police. They be saying, "Oh, you know what I mean." They do all this stuff, but when you get caught and they be getting that time, you know, they be the first to say, "Hey, such and such," you know what I mean? But they did all this crazy shit. But what dude was saying though, it's true though. The politics when it comes to like everybody be telling on each other, everybody be using each other, and that's what I felt like they did with Julio's got him to come down, and throw him a bone and say, "Yeah, man, you know, used him, tricked him," and he just jump up for it, and got caught up with them niggas. But it doesn't, you know, listen, man, ain't nobody gonna have thing for you. Ain't nobody gonna have sympathy for you when you're doing shit like this. You hear this little girl? Crazy. And people ain't gonna have sympathy for you. It don't matter who your kids are. It don't matter who, you know, uh, how good what they did. Trust me, they gonna go away. You know what I mean? They gonna go away. You coming out of your comfort zone, go all the way over there, to hook up with a gang to do some type of crazy shit. Y'all just recruiting anybody, man. Like anybody. I get it. They seem like they down, but y'all should be like they never grow up like that. Y'all can't turn somebody in. Trust me. It's a person that's changed up or switched up, about that life is not gonna get up there and put on a turtleneck and try to, you know what I mean, separate themselves. Oh yeah, it's not clear. Let me fix it. Hold on. What's up with my audio? Hold on. Hold on. I don't know. Not clear. You can hear me now, though. Damn, I'm talking about. I'm talking. Hold on. Audio will be good. Fix up my mic. But man, I need to speak up a little bit louder. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. So yeah, but these kids be getting mixed up in the wrong thing, thinking they gangster because they with this person or they with that person. I'm telling you, Sean. Yeah, I mean, real talk. third, third night. Third night killer. Mm, real talk, yo. Third night killer. Real talk. People are crazy out here. They're crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Crazy. I don't know where his, like why he gotta be on that type of time when you know that a lot, as I said, a lot of kids have it good, and I'm just trying to figure out how if you have it like that and you're gonna hook up with a kid to get where you're at. And you think one day you might turn around and rob you. That's why a lot of these. That's I go and say this again. That's why there's a lot of home invasions happening because a lot of these kids be hooking up with random people and thinking they're cool, they're part of something, and next thing you know, they be coming, you know what I mean? Knocking on your parents' door, trying to get, you know what I mean? Kick your door in because they know your parents has got some shit that they expensive or they think is expensive. Yeah, man, it goes both ways. They could either use it for that, turn on you, take your stuff, or they could use you to, you know. And it's always been like that because we don't know. Reality, you know, majority of the people, their mom can't bail them out. They can't do shit. They don't got that type of money. The mom is not gangster to that. But my bad. Hold on. The kid from the suburb come down and try to be, you know, the next whoever, the biggest gangster, Scarface, whoever, Al Pacino, or one of them people. Yeah, they're gonna be like, well, you do it because, you know what I mean. Your parents have got all the money. You're from over here. You know what I mean. My dad, my mom don't got this. That's what a lot of these niggas be doing. Y'all be letting the streets trick y'all because y'all don't know shit. Not knowing that shit, you're just a fall guy. You get the rep. You don't really get the rep because does he get the rep for certain things? I don't, you know, even if he's a part of that gang, I don't think he get the rep. Because after that turtleneck, you know, episode, let me understand. I don't think they're gonna give him the rep. Not like that. Like give him his flowers. What they say, gonna give him his flowers. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna give him his flowers. Did all that for no reason. All that was just unnecessary. He could have went out there and tried to do something for himself, but as I said, a lot of things that goes down. Yes, people yeah, maybe that was his you know, his way of getting down to being a part of the crew. He's gonna have to put this work and you know, like get this Julio dude. But they said like what they said, he's a well-known gang member on the rapper Julio. I don't think they said that if the light skinned dude was a well-known gang member. They said he was throwing up gang signs, you know, and celebrating after the whole thing happened. You know, I don't think he was a well-known gangster like that. So all they don't know how to do, they don't know to have a proper conversation. Yeah, that's all they know how to do. They don't know how to talk it, they don't know how to be civilized, they don't know how to, you know. That's why sometimes you have a young kid or you know a young son or a daughter, you just gotta make it like you know what I mean. You know, show them how to avoid certain situations. You know what I mean? If you can't talk to, if you know that it's not a talk, just don't go. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be able to talk or anything because a lot of stuff is like this. People talk certain things out these days and try to you know come to you know two people there and then people pull camera out and they'll try to start something on somebody else who will try you know turn it into something else instead of recording them squashing the shit. You know, trying to do better for themselves as young kids. No, it's gonna turn into a whole you know fight and shit like that. There's none of that. running around. They're recruited by the suburb. That's crazy because Rice said it the best. Their parents moved them out of the shit. You know what I mean? And got out of the shit. Got a house. Work hard. You know what I mean? Do what they gotta do to make a better life for their kids, and they, going back, they leaving the suburb and going back down to this shit is happening, all the violence, all the, you know what I mean, all the activity, that type of activity stuff. It's crazy. And the influence is crazy on social media for the younger generation. So that's what he's saying. Yeah, you want to stay out of trouble when you're in certain things. You want to stay out of trouble. These kids are different. These kids are different. They're like 20. It's crazy because what I'm seeing though is a trend. The majority of them that's around this type of stuff, and this is why they get caught because your whole life you haven't been a part of this type of heavy activity of violence. You know what I mean? You haven't. No, you end your career at 18 because at 18 you went to jail, and I mean, damn, like, just think about it. He probably had a lot. He probably taught nothing. He probably taught like at 17, 16. Like he could have done anything. He could have made anything happen, and ain't nothing gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? He probably like, yeah, I did this already. I got away with it. Like, now when you're at it, when you're 18, the time that you're doing and the trouble that you got in, trust me, it's different consequences when you're 16 and 18. And so a lot of these kids, I notice they try to do certain things. It's like they already know the system don't work. It's like they try to do certain things at a young age. That's why they're changing the law to like 15 now. You got people like, I think that's crazy. That's insane. Like, what are you guys gonna say? 15-year-old idol? That's a youth. Oh, yeah, man. There's a lot of changes going on around here. And it is happening. I don't see nothing. Like what Julio said early on, like it's gonna be crazy for the generation after this. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazier. It's gonna be crazier because that's how like a lot of these kids are acting right now and not and can't understand what the value of certain things is when your parents got it, when your parents don't got it, and to be around people that you should know as a kid. You know what I mean? Because the person driving that whip or whatever, you know what I mean? You should know, like, you should think, like, all right, you don't have that parents, and they probably gonna try to get off on me when they can't have nothing going on. But somebody gonna need something. You know what I mean? So I want to think about that when I want to join these people. I mean, I said I seen one kid already was saying he joined up with something. He did put in some work, and he said this. He never got no money for it, no money for it. All because he wanted to be down and he wanted to be known as that guy in the streets, or he wanted to say I did this. It's crazy, you know. And a lot of them, it's like right away they be telling like, I say it must be so easy right now for law enforcement to become the next person, the next sergeant, or the next top person, whatever. Because man, y'all just be telling on yourself when it comes to certain things. Y'all be super telling on yourself. Do a crime and go on X or go on some type of social media platform to say, "Oh, I regret doing it." You saying you're regretting and trying to, you know, nobody cares about nobody's sympathy and how nobody feels and what type of bad you never had a daddy in the house or your mommy that wasn't there. Nobody don't care about that. People want, people want to see people for their shit. Because if you start giving, it doesn't matter what's going on with the kid, what type of shit he has. Or if he has a little bit of mental health, you might get that all right. They might say, okay, he's not criminal responsible, so let's get him some type of help but nah, if you're not that, you could, you're wrong from right, and you can understand yes and no. Trust me, they is make sure you pay for the shit that you did. They're not gonna allow you to just let this kid go because he's innocent. He's a good kid. He had a good, he just had a mess up childhood. But for like taking someone's life, I don't know, man. And then everybody out here trying to act like this is sad for this kid. Ah, and I'm sorry, any kid that's at home stressing out people, you know what I mean? Because everything could be good. You don't know the damage that you bring to your family. Everybody start looking at you weird. You know what I mean? Even though you don't have nothing to do with it. You don't know what this kid's doing. You don't know who they're talking to. I think majority of them stuff happen. You know what I mean? As I said once again, when there's no dad around. Okay, this dude right here sound like he don't respect his stepfather. You know what I mean? So I don't know. He didn't sound like he respect his stepfather or anything. And I thought maybe he needed like what um Julio's killer needed was like an actual what do you call it? Um, his dad to be around or something like that. Maybe if he's had like a father in his life, or a man that could say, "Yo, all right." Because sometimes women be like, "Yeah," but when the kid's older, they kind of be like, "Oh, man." Sometimes when a kid is a woman will be like, "Oh, that's my son," da da da, like allow him to do whatever. Nah, you gotta like, I don't know. I just sometimes I think, for both, even for a female, it's good to have, parents in their life, or what I mean, not because y'all break up then, and some of the part, a big part of it too, with some of these kids and why certain things happen. Why that's because in the relationship when they break up, automatically a woman gets a big part of, what I mean, a more bigger role of playing part in the kid's life than the man does. Like, you know what I mean? So even if it's just a marriage that's break up, there's no abuse and no one saw it with nobody. Like, she could still tell you, "Oh, you're allowed to see a kid on the weekend," which is crazy. That's stupid. You know what I mean? I think there'd be more than part of that. You know what I mean? I think you should. I think as a whole, if you're gonna do that, know what I mean? Especially when both persons are like, they say, I don't think they should go counseling. I think the kids also should be in a counseling because it fucks them up too. That's why they go elsewhere and look for love. But a lot of kids do need, their father around. I can see that. You make a mistake and you could bounce back. You know what I mean? And then it's like, your daddy around, you can't do that type of stuff in the house. You know what I mean? So you might go elsewhere, you might go hang out with your friends. But why do that if you got a good support home? Why do that if they could give you a good job? You see what I'm saying? And just have everything better for you. I'm just saying, like, that needs to, a lot of that, and I think that's what taking away, trying to get the male figure out of the house is the reason why a lot of these boys, especially like our culture, you know what I mean? Because I don't think the Caucasian women are taking the man them out of the house. It's just more likely the black women are doing it for some reason. They act like it. Just never that, they act like it. Caucasian woman was the first woman, as I said, this lady I knew one time. She had a husband, and she had her ex, sometime when the kid, the kid, they will come and, hang out with other kids, but then the dad will come and hang out too, you know what I mean? And did certain things. You know what I mean? Because, yes, you're supposed to respect the man, but at the same time, she also kept their daddy. They didn't make it seem like, she didn't make them, the kids feel like, well, that's your dad, Me and this man divorced and we wasn't getting along, so I mean, don't treat him as your dad like that. A lot of that goes on in the black side. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's because black women are scared of what people might say or what society might say or what somebody might say. But well, why is be scared, man? You see what I'm saying? If you want to keep your family together, you heard that thing said, time said, and certain things. At one time, you couldn't get women to do that to their family apart like that. Just love, not allow the man to be a dad or whatever, to check the kid or, just, let the man, like, you're supposed to be there for surety when the kid's getting out of hand. I mean, you can't run to nobody else. That's why the mama always say, yo, control your son, control your daughter, because she can't do everything. So, but we make it feel, we try to make the woman not think like that no more. And I think majority of, as I said, Caucasian women do it too, but I think it's more of black women that does it because they actually keep their dads, and a lot of them do. It's mostly black women that want to trying to keep out of the homes because you never hear really a white dude say, "Oh, they da," because that's not happening. And if they're gonna get in a relationship like that, they're not getting the girl pregnant. They leave and they gone. But we know us, we know that the girl has a whole bunch of friends like that, and then we gonna lay down with the woman and do all that, and then we complain, oh, she don't want me or no. What's the point of that? What's the point of that? That's the point of that. But that's with these kids. Because he didn't want to be around no dude. I mean, he wanted to be around all the girls because, the light-skinned baby-faced kid. So he thinks, oh, they're just going to let me get away with everything because, I'm light-skinned, such and such. My sister's going to stand up for me, even though, so, but you can't do that. Of young men, they like to do like you talk to them a certain way and you try to explain to them like you can't do this or this is gonna happen. They think that you're trying to embarrass them or you're trying to show them up. So nah. they want to go sit on the females, or the females ain't gonna tell them all that. Like, let's be honest, women ain't gonna check. A woman ain't gonna when a kid is about to get a boy about to get him, she could check. She would do a female, but she cannot put a boy in their place like a man will put a boy in their place when they do something wrong, when they're about to do something wrong. And that's what's going on with a lot of these kids. When you hear their stories, you know what I mean, and it's the same thing over and over again. No male figure in their life, nobody to look up to, no role model to say, hey, Billy, don't pick the shotgun up, or or hey, Dwayne, don't, you know what I mean? Don't put the Glock up. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know what I mean? Don't go down there, and you know what I mean? So it's, man, look. I guess, and some of y'all is cool with them. That's what I said. That's why some of y'all is cool with them. That's why they be hustling. Y'all know they be hustling. You know what I mean? Because y'all with this shit too. Y'all with niggas that, you know what I mean? So when y'all son doing that, it's like y'all bypass it. So y'all okay with this shit. I had a girl tell me one time I couldn't do this shit, but you know what I mean? I was doing too much when I was, you know what I mean? But then it was, it's crazy. So, and it's just like if your mom telling you, oh, you can't do this, but then she's talking to the dope boy. That's kind of funny. You know what I mean? So it's. I'm just saying, in general, that shit has got to stop. Like, not because you're with somebody that's doing this shit, you want to see your kid do the same shit to her because he's getting money, he's buying you all this shit. Because ladies are like that. You know what I mean? Not everybody's mom is like Tony's mom. And Tony's mom took the money, and Tony took the money out and said, "Mama, hey, I ain't gotta be. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta clean the floors no more. I'm a good boy." She takes the money out. And she said, "Nah, who did you analyze for that? Where did you get that from? There's not a woman, not a mom's like that. I'm talking about Scarface chat. When Tony's mom took the money out, when Tony took the money out and gave it to his mom on the table and said, here, you ain't got to do the job no more. Here's $1,000. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Back then in the 80s, what was it, 81, 82? $1,000 is a lot of money. So, yeah. Not a lot of women doing that. A lot of women will know that their son hustling in the streets doing crazy shit. And they don't request it. As long as they getting something, they good. You know what I mean? They good. You know what I mean? But that's the problem. Right? A lot of these kids are like that because majority of them are in a home. There's no father around. Mom thinks it's cool for them to go hustling by as long as they, it's crazy. So not knowing is, this hustle is different. Yeah, but a lot of these kids, a lot of these kids be on some crazy shit. And majority of the time is because they don't have no father around like that in the house. And if they do, they don't want to listen. Because, you know what I mean, ain't nobody really listening to no male figure like what they used to anyway, because they kind of made it like it's not cool to listen to them. Let's be honest. They made it, so I kind of made it not cool to listen to males in the house no more. So that's why half of these kids don't listen to the stepdads. The uncle, yes. You know what I mean? Even the big bro, they don't want to listen to him. Sometimes big bro could be like, it don't have to be big bro plays big bro and plays father figure, but they don't want to listen to that. Trying to get the kids them not to listen to the males in the house. I thought we had much violence with these kids, these boys at you know what I mean, at 12, 13, 14. But then they're like, oh, nah, y'all made it cool. You know what I mean? Y'all trying to make it that it's okay for the kid. That's why the kids are so young doing all the crazy shit. Because mom can't control, 14-year-old boy if he's out doing crazy shit and he's got all this other stuff and he's wilding out. You know what I mean? And she definitely ain't gonna call the police on her son if she sees certain things. She gonna act like she don't see it. 'Cause now she gonna look like a bad mom, children aid and all that type of stuff. And she might have other kids there. So, but y'all made it like that, where it's amazing, especially when it comes to the black community. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, shit, y'all are kicking all the man. Some of y'all are kicking all the man out of the house. Some of y'all don't even want to have. Some of y'all don't even want to have a baby. Y'all will have the baby, and y'all will go do something else to have a baby just because y'all don't want to be around a man. That don't make no sense. That make no sense. I real talk. I think when you do that, when you go do that, that's like if you want to be a mom, this is my opinion. If you want to be a mom and you just want to, you know what I mean, like go do something else to get a baby, but don't want to do it, you know what I mean? You don't want to lay down with nobody, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So what if your mom didn't want to lay down with your dad, or what if your dad didn't want to lay down with your mom? You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't be on you. You know what I mean? Because at that time, we couldn't do certain things. We had to, you know what I mean? We had to use human to create life. Because I don't think, I think that's what's going on right now. It's just like people don't even want to use, humans don't want to create life no more. They're going to use this to go and get some certain things or some meat or certain things or whatever they got going on, and then they're pregnant. That's where it is right now. So imagine that, though. You have a kid, and you ain't never had a man in your house, and you just want to have you just want to have a kid with no man. I don't know. I don't know how that works, or no father. You know what I mean? And your kid gets 15. You know what I mean? And you and somebody say, "Hey, your kid was out here, da da da. You should control your kid." You can't get mad. You're gonna say, "Oh, he's young and da da da." I get it, but he's young. But a man knows, like, you know what I mean? What a boy goes through at 15, a woman knows what a young girl goes through at 13, 15 years old. You know what I mean? 14. So when we don't have that in the house, and when they start mood swinging and they start acting tough, and you can't calm them down, you think it's just a regular, you know what I mean? But a man knows. If we transform it, and we already paused. We already went through that transfer. You know what I mean? Where we already went through that, where we went from here to there. So you need a man in the home to control these young boys. They're getting out of hand. Because if he had a dad like that was strict on him, that kept him into the school, trust me, Julio killer, this light skinned dude right here wouldn't be one. You wouldn't be understand. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be understand. Real talk. And I think with him, it sounds like, you know what I mean? He wanted his dad. He was looking for a father figure, but he got it. But then he met somebody else, you know what I mean? Which was like, an OG, and then just went somewhere else. His mind went somewhere else. That's why sometimes you got to talk to your kids before they get to that. It's easy. Next day they might be good with you, and next day they might be switching up. They don't want to be the person on the computer no more. They don't want to be the person, you know what I mean, learning about basketball, baseball or football. They want to do something else. They're doing some shit that you ain't never know they're into. So you got to encourage them. Even if they're on the computer, they're doing something and they're building something. Let them do it. You don't got to tell them to go outside. They might go outside and meet somebody, and next thing you know what I mean, a month later, they're in some shit. They're getting arrested. You know what I mean? Because they were standing with some kid and the kid did some shit. You don't know what's going on. You're like, oh, the shit, this happened. Like, you know what I mean? You wasn't like this a while ago. Now you're like this. So, yeah. So, Julio, this right here, Sean, this dude right here. I'm not talking China chat. I'm talking about the dude that was understand. He he needed his daddy. He needed a male figure, like a strong. But he sounded like he never had, like he said he wanted a strong male figure, but he probably thought that his stepdad was soft. Yeah, he's talking. I mean, sometimes the soft person could be the most person to break you up. You know what I mean? Because that's how they're gonna turn you into sometimes that soft level that you're thinking. Because he gonna at 25, he gonna look and saying, oh, my stepdad wasn't soft. He was just trying to show me the right way. He was just trying to keep me out of trouble. Like, you see what I'm saying? So yeah, you know. But yeah, majority of these kids that are going around with these pew pews, doing all this crazy stuff. There's too much 14-year-old. Think about it. He's 20 now. Right? Julio Killer 20 now, track. He was 18. Think about what he was doing when he was 16, between 16 and 17. Right? He just got caught up on it. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like a lot of these kids, they need more, you know, thing in the house. Y'all need to bring the man back in the house and straighten these kids up. Straighten these kids up. Straighten these kids up. Like some of these kids, you see them back home, and it's like, you know, straighten these kids up. It's just too much. Like, oh, what's next? What we gonna see next? 8-year-olds? Fuck, we already see 9-year-olds. You know what I mean? But that's very weird. But I'm just saying, is it gonna be a trend? Because the trend of 2026, 2025, especially early, late, a lot of, 2024 too. A lot of that was the rise of, especially over here, down here, kids, 14, 13. There's a 12-year-old that had a hit. That did a hit that was putting a hit on somebody. How do you get to convince a 12-year-old to go pick up? Like, it's crazy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no such thing as, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as what do you call it? There's no such thing as gangs no more. Sex. People say gang, but gang is like a term. You know what I mean? It's almost like Christianity. People say Christianity, but that's almost like a bang, like a fashion statement. Why I say that? Because, people, I'm pretty sure they said, like, if you saw God, where is it the sin? Now I see people wearing crosses, clothes, and sweaters, and your most expensive clothes got crosses on them with Bible verses and stuff like that. Hear me out. Your most expensive stuff has crosses. I seen the LA hat with the upside down LA sign with crosses on it, like it's a graveyard. And then I see a lot of stuff. I'm saying a lot of stuff right now it's a fashion and statement. It's just like for like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But a lot of these stuff, there's a lot of weird stuff. These kids you need to organize to see a person like this, and he ain't never been like Brian and me and Rice we heard what we said earlier. He ain't that. It's true. We could tell. He could tell that I've been through some type of, like, you know what I mean. But the way we explain, all three of us. But you could listen to this kid and you could tell that he ain't never been. He just wanted to be a part of something, and he thought it was cool. He already had. Trust me. You could tell those guys they didn't have no type of, because look, he had all the money. He had the big lawyer. The stuff that people was paying for. Even though he didn't got the money like that. He probably thought he was in the military, he wasn't gonna get help because he had a military background. But like what AZ said, they don't care if you serve and how good you do. You know what I mean? If you keep out of trouble and if you don't, they're still not gonna show up for you. I don't know. You know, it's but you know, I'm saying this, you know, a lot of these kids need their daddies. Cause I've been hearing mommies and mommies about mommies need. But I've been hearing mom, listen. You know, the mom don't need a man in the house to raise them, especially a bad kid that's always get picked up by the police. You know, emotional mom gets. You know, work and got to deal with that and got to deal with the other shit. You know what I mean? Plus, she got to leave. You know what I mean? Give her a job to bring her to court, then she got to go to work late because she got to bring her to court because you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You need your mom to be there. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't go to court by yourself, right? You need your mom to be there at 14, 15 years old. So you need a dad to straighten and make sure that type of stuff don't happen. You know, we need back a family. We just need back the whole family again. You know, the whole family ads, the whole family. You know what I mean? The whole family ads, the whole family. You know, everything. We need more family ads. We need more family stuff, more family movies, right? Like, I'm sick of robot movies and you know what I mean, family robot movies. That makes no sense. That don't make no sense. We need, you know, family movies that are teaching our kids how to survive or to stay out of trouble. Like, you know what I mean? You could start off with the movie of the kid being in the, you know what I mean, in the streets. You know what I mean? You can't always be dad come out of jail and have to get back into the streets to save kid to get no. We could have dad come out of jail and we could have, you know, we could have the kid just listen to dad's story or mom's story and change the whole lifestyle of them think of you know, way of, you know, observing the streets. Like we need that type of stuff. We can't just have movies with single moms or you know what I mean, or you know, we have a black dad and then you know what I mean. You don't instead of trying to, you know, fix the whole make the family come together like, you know, we you know, this is crazy. This is crazy. Just get into a lot of stuff. We don't promote family stuff. You know. Fuck, we don't even promote black relationship, black and black relationship. You know. Swear to God. We don't even promote white and white relationship. I don't know why the fuck is that. That's stupid to me. That's dumb. Because that's y'all don't it's like y'all pushing society to be more racist. Real talk. Y'all don't do it. Y'all don't do that. It's like every movie, every TV show, the person has to be black, the guy, the girl black, the guy white. The guy black, the girl white. It's like we don't promote like we can't be like, you know what I mean, full out. It's like what are we hiding from? What are we ashamed of? Because you know what I mean? Like this is I think it's kind of too late for that. You know what I mean? It's too late for that. It's too late for that, if you ask me. We can't force people. We can't force people. If that's the case, if people are gonna start be going outside again, people are gonna start using devices. People are only gonna be using devices to make phone calls. Fuck it. Some people might even shut their device off and go away and camp away. You know what I mean? And like in the mountains or you know what I mean, just to get away from certain stuff because it's like you're forced to watch certain things. You go check out something, it pops up, you click on it, you take a look at it. Now they're forcing you to buy it. Next time you go on the you know, they're showing you how much it costs. And, you know, they're showing you how it looks, and it's like, I would just look at it. That's how I don't look at nothing on social media. Every time I look at something, they show me I want to buy something. It's anywhere. It's anywhere. Yeah, but it's sad that this dude trying to justify, even though I had to apologize for something that he did wrong, even though to explain himself. You know how why he couldn't remember and how you know the shit was. He just didn't want to talk about it no more. That's his thing. Yeah, that's what he should be. He should be in the truth about. You know, I don't want to talk about it no more. That was one of the most worst experiences I've had in my life. You know that's the stuff that I hate talking about because I don't want to, you know what I mean, bring up trauma and I know how the family feels. Like you gotta lay it like that. You can't make it look like, oh, you know what I mean. You just want to ignore that. You know what's one thing the jury hates it when you try to ignore it. And the judge they hate when you ignore shit like that. It's like you're already acting like, you know what I mean. You're trying to show remarks, but at the same time, how do you show remarks like that when you're just like trying to forget about certain things? Like how you can't just move on like for taking someone's life. A lot of people don't understand. They think it's yeah, I'm gonna go there reckless. Like nah, you lose everything. You got kids. You might not see your sister. Go to your sister's birthday party. You know what I mean? And that's why he went to his sister's birthday party because that was the last time he was gonna ever be at that party, ever see her again. So he probably did all that. He probably went there, went to went to his sister to celebrate her birthday, and did his last turn up, super turn up because I was dumb, but they did. They go do a they go do a shooting beside of what do you call it? A Tesla. It's not the most stupidest shit. So I don't understand how what's going on with the David situation on the Tesla. The situation where it's crazy. We've been sure seeing something with the Tesla already. Like, we better should have some evidence that they should have been showing us something, but whatever. They said that with the Tesla has one. What they say the Tesla, uh, what they say? They say the Tesla has when the Tesla is dead and it's not charged, then you can't see nothing. I don't know. I'm true that much. Check. I don't know. I'm true that much. It's very odd for even for your car. Your car can have no gas, and you know what I mean. Your battery is not gonna die like that so quick. No, but they said it's charged. It's not charged. The car wasn't charged. So see what I'm talking about? Hmm. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't trust an electrical vehicle. If they can go and shut down, and nobody knows where you're at. And that's that's serious. That's serious. That's serious. That is some serious things right there. If electrical car could just bang, you know, shut down on you like that, and something evidence in the car and no one can see who it is. That is something that we might want to think about. Well, that's why I said having a gas car with a battery, I was thinking is very. I know we lose gas sometime or whatever. People don't, gas in their car, or whatever. But electrical vehicle. No, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's very. Your battery could charge. And basically you hook up your cable to the battery, you could start the car. So what's the hard? What's that part about the Tesla shutting down? and they couldn't. This is in David's situation, David's case. So I don't really keep talking about that case anymore because it's like, you know, crazy evidence. It's like unbelievable shit. Some shit that you read in a book or in a movie. So yeah, but that's crazy though. And this guy do a drive-by, decided to park Tesla. The Tesla was not on, right? A Tesla was not on. That's why I don't understand why people keep saying, well, the reason why we couldn't see who put the body in the car, David's car, because his car was, did you say his car was what? His car was, it was in charge. I don't know. That's why I don't believe it's him. They're not the only one. He's not the only one that did that. What do you call it? That did that crime. He did it. He had some type of help with it though. And they just don't want to expose the next person. But yeah, yeah. We be acting like one person. We be acting like one person could we be acting like one person could do like we see serial movies, yeah. We see with movies all the time, like even though one person could do that type of job, I can't lie. Depends on what type of person they have. So it's possible that they would do that. They do that by themselves. But even then, how do you lift up like a body is heavy. A lifeless body is very very heavy. So I don't get into that story. That story is kind of weird. Weird. Half of the stuff that's on the news and half of the stuff that they put out there almost like movie script. Crazy shit. Kidding you not, there's some crazy stuff going on. But in real life, reality, like you get back on Julio's killers real quick before we get out of here. In real life, you know, well, somebody that don't have what this kid has, they ain't gonna get a chance to say all that thing, you know what I mean? I just think he's gonna be working in there because just because his people himself for the country, you know, his mom was a sergeant. That's why I believe he might not get the death penalty. He might stay in there and work for the rest of his life. And that's what I'm saying. Those boys might got and they might get lucky. Now, who knows? Florida might choose to get rid of the rest of them, but make him work and be the one that worked for free. And I heard they was supposed to work in a prison. He was supposed to work in a prison. You know how that's gonna work. Now they want you to work. They're back into that stage again. You're gonna be working for the prison. Hey, what are you doing? Don't move on my
In the gym.
she was going behind the fridge. I don't want to go right now. You gonna be working for these boys, man. Anything criminal? Anything. Everybody going to jail. Everybody using somebody. The streets just seem like, you heard that? Like, and Brian was right. You know, the streets use people. The streets use people. Huh? Yeah, so everybody using somebody. I'm telling you, today it'll be a group of friends, and that's why you gotta, we gotta educate these youths. But that's what they did with Dude. But that's why he said he. Why do you think he said no? I have nobody to manipulate me, because you could tell when he was in there, he was not a part of, like, he was what do you call it? The people that that he taught, that he was a part of the crew, that he met up with to go analyze Julio, that they're not that same no more. And usually he's like that. Usually he's like that. They're not the same no more. They're not the same no more. Not the same no more. And that's what happened. So, but he want to be something else. Shouldn't have done that. You can't do all that. You can't do all that, man. You can't do all that. You can't go for that. No, whoa, no, can't do. Uh-huh. Can't do all that. Can't do all that, Chuck. He gonna learn though. He gonna learn of what it's like to be a gangster. Like, trust me. When he gets up into that, he gonna find out. He gonna have to be somebody's doorman, toilet man, or he gonna have to be. Trust me. He gonna have to be He gonna have to be Yeah, she gonna bet soon. I'm dead serious. After this. Yeah, when I'm getting off. Exactly. So yeah, chat. This was a bad choice for who this light skin dude right here. All of them in general. You know, that's the thing. People think they're organized. People think they're doing something because I don't know what. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how. But a lot of these kids, their family rich, and the neighborhood, they're in a good neighborhood, but they're not educated. As I said, you live in a certain, listen, chat. I came here as a kid. I lived in a Jamaican Italian neighborhood. And guess what? The Italian people, they make sure, that I was staying out of trouble. They make sure that, I was at the like you had a choice. If you wanted to just go hang out with people even though after a while I got to that stage, but growing up at certain 15, 14, I was doing some kind of kiddie shit. I was not trying to analyze somebody and think I'm gonna take someone's life and I'm not gonna go to jail. Or nothing's gonna happen to me. I was careful what I did. As I said, but we don't got a neighborhood no more will help kids stay out of trouble. Everybody just want talk down on the parents, talk down on the kids. as I said, that was the best thing that ever happened for me. If I would have lived in an all black neighborhood, it would have been bad for me. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right this right now. I know this for a fact. It would have been bad for me. But I lived in a Italian Jamaican community, and you know, it was, yeah. As I said, certain things, even when I couldn't afford certain things, you know, until I could have paid it back. As I said, a lot of stuff you could make kids not be, make them go the different way. Down. So my French teacher, she was Italian. My science teacher, you know what I mean, she was Italian. I'll make sure I was on. Not as I said, growing up in an all black neighborhood is kind of different. Kind of different. I can't lie, but when you grow up like that, even though as I said, but it was an immigrant. It was an immigrant. Everybody, the Italian was immigrant. Yeah, but some people was not. They was already born here. They was already lived there. They just brought their family to the country. But that's the type of community that I lived in when I came in here. The Italians was bringing their kids and their mom into Canada. The Jamaicans were doing the same thing. So what I mean. We all got along. We all got along. That's why when people say, "Oh, Italians are this," I laugh because I'm like, "Damn." You know what I mean? What neighborhood? What type of white people? What the Italians do you know? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Because I grew up in an immigrant Italian neighborhood. We was all the same. But yes, the old people are most thing, but then I remember this lady Rosie. You know what I mean? She'd make sure we was all fed. You know what I mean? It's the Italian lady. The police used to bug them all the time. I used to wonder always why. But when I grew up, I found her son was mafia. You see what I'm saying? So it was crazy. But they never treat us no way. We won't. You know what I mean? It was, yeah. It was, trust me. That's why when people say, "Oh, this and that," I kind of find it hard to believe certain things. Some people you just gotta know how to talk to people. Some people are fucked up, especially the Italian Sicilians. They're kind of more rude and more aggressive. Shit, even right now, we're my you know my girl true blood, her grandfather like has Sicilian, so it's insane when I hear people talk because a lot of people don't really know nothing. But what what I'm trying to get at is you had neighborhoods, you have grandmas, you have grandpas, and then you had the ones that be like, "Hey, that kid can't be in trouble," or "That kid is good at basketball." You know what I hear? You know, keep your kid in the basketball, keep your kid in the football. Here's some money to get them a shoes, or like there's Jordan. Just now, people just get Jordans and all that type of stuff just to do certain things. If your kid was in a college and your mom couldn't afford it and they was playing ball, somebody will help out. We need to start doing more of that. As I said, this generation is toast. There's no help. There's no communication. Everything is a cash up. Everything is run to the pew pew, and we're gonna analyze somebody, and that's how we feel better. How you gonna feel better? By locking yourself up behind, you know what I mean, in a cave or in a dungeon somewhere. How is that gonna make your stress and anxiety feel better? How many books are you gonna read? You see what I'm saying? Even how much time are you gonna educate yourself? God, that's all you got to do. If you go in there, majority of the time, a lot of people go there don't know don't know nothing. They come out, you know, educated. They know this, they know that, they know because they've been in it for so long. And what you gonna do with that when you come out? You can't use that education no more. You know what I mean? So those books and those things that like what this dude is practicing. You know what I mean? He might be reading that type of Bible and said he found God, but it might not be the same Bible that the next generation is reading after him. So there's a lot of shit to that. There's a lot of stuff, that people don't look at before they get themselves in trouble or do certain things. Listen, you got a mom, you got a dad, you got grandparents that are looking out for you. You got people that make sure you get in the right schools and you get a boost so you can get certain things going, keep it. You know what I mean? Accept it. And if you're blessed, don't take away your blessings. Because that's the part I didn't get about him. He said I was blessed to have those, to have, me to get in the program, and for the school and all that. I was blessed to get that because not a lot of kids could get that. Y'all hear that? You you had a choice, but that's why there's so much snitching around. There's a lot of these rich kids that have their parents that own all this type of stuff. Think they could come out and run the streets, and then they want you to run behind them and run the streets with them, where their family got this type of company, like, 2 mechanic shops over there, Airbnb, while your parents own, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Paying off on their house. They got this going on. Their brother they got this. Their sister got this. You know what I mean? Their uncle got this. Everybody in their family, but they want to be out here be, Scarface or John Gotti, and then they want you. When you're trying to like just have your one car, you want business and your house, and they want to be everything else because they wasn't grown up like that. You know what I mean? They still want to see, they still want to be in the streets and be around certain shit that you're already seen at 12, 13 years old. As I said, a lot of these people that get out, like, jump off the porch at 17. Right now, jumping off the porch at 17, 18, even back then was kind of bad. Because if you got it like that, if your parents got all these resources, got all these connections, you don't need to be in the streets. I'm sorry, for any kid. You don't need to leave the suburb and do anything. If you're your brother, your sister got over here a mechanic, or they got some type of plumbing facts, stuff, and they're offering you a job, go get it because the economy is tough right now. Ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean? You might have a pew, yes, and bust a couple of shots, but that's about it. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? And what are you gonna do when their family come to get them out of trouble, and your family is trying to look for somebody to pay somebody to get you out of the trouble? You know what I mean? Nah, y'all let them people go do something by themselves. I mean, take care of you because dude ain't lying. Everybody everybody in the streets right now looking for somebody to use, and that's what they did with this kid. You know what I mean? They thought they wasn't gonna use him, but everybody went down. You know what I mean? Everybody went down. You know, but and yeah, y'all getting peer pressure to do these pills and these stuff, all these other drugs. You know what I mean? And not knowing that the side effects gonna have y'all tripping out doing crazy stuff. Creating problems for other people, creating problems for your family, and that type of thing. As I said, if you in the streets and you running behind somebody, they're from the suburb and they trying to get you to do shit, you stupid. You know what I mean? Well, especially right now, stupid because they gonna throw you to the wolves. They gonna snitch on you because everybody telling right now. Niggas that I say running around doing certain things for me, that is talking freely on the phone and talking that person business and that person business and asking about that person and bringing up that person old, very scary. I gotta ask myself, should I even be around them? Even though, you know what I mean? Even if you're not doing anything. If you're doing something, you should be afraid. But if you're not doing anything, you should be even more afraid because you're talking to that person and you're like, damn, why is he calling me and talking like that? Next thing you know, if something goes on, they want to know why was he telling you all that stuff and giving you all that information? What do you know? So now you're like, what the hell? I didn't know that was going on. He was just saying, speaking his mind. Listen, a lot of these suburb kids, you know what I mean? I'm the type of person, I don't say nothing. I was letting them talk. And everybody wants to be a big person. Everybody wants to be a social media gangster. Like this nigga, a turtleneck gangster. You find out, that was not it. You find out that was not it. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna shut it down. See y'all on the next one. Like, comment, share, subscribe, check TMGZ. Chat. But bless. Don't give away your blessings. Don't be like this dude right here telling the court you're blessed. Oh, I was blessed to get all that. That was one of the stupidest key moments I ever heard somebody say. I was blessed to have all that, and then you gave it all away. I mean, you don't value what you have. You don't value life. That's why they gave you all that time, bro. Anyways, chat them out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace. Peace, yeah. Have a good. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something I can't find. Looking for a. Oh, my outro. Can I find it? I forgot my girl was here. I know that is. And your girls around your stuff, touching certain things. But anyways, I'm out, y'all. Chef the MGZ, like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.